It's okay, thank you. You know the back seat.
Good evening. Welcome to the February the 2nd, 2026 Common Council meeting of the Muncie Council. We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Led by Councilman Dale Basham.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll have the invocation given by Mr. McIntosh.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Father God. Thank us for this evening. We just give you the grace and the glory you so deserve. We ask that you bless each and every one that's here, the homes they represent, Father God, and open up our minds and hearts for the business and transactions that may come forth for this council. And it's in Jesus Christ I pray. Amen.
Amen.
We have citizen recognition this month. It's given by Councilman Brandon Garrett.
This one is kind of special, especially growing up on the south side of town. It's kind of a long time coming back, I'd say. I'm going to kind of speak on what it means to me and bring them up and let them speak on how we got to where we were to where we're at now. But growing up on the south side of town, you played at the Raw Center and you would pick your two best friends, and your two best friends was your team in the Gus Macker. That's who you're playing with. No matter what, that's who you're playing with. And it was you got to go. And then as I got older and got in high school and I wrestled, your event for the year was to work the Gus Macker. And you always got a nice pair of shoes or something for working the Gus Macker. And as you got older, that's kind of what you did. You would just always go back to during the, when the Gus Macker would come to see your buddies play and their younger brothers and sisters play. It's a lot more on the south side of town than just a basketball event that used to come once a year. That's kind of what I come from a household where just my dad worked. My mom stayed home with us. My dad worked for the parks department. So that was kind of my big look forward to. And summer was the Gus Macker, was going to the Gus Macker and seeing all my buddies play and getting to play. And we would I always tell Steven that we'd always try to lose, and you'd always want to lose that first game so you could win that toilet bowl trophy, because the toilet bowl trophy was the coolest. It was just the coolest one out of the Gus Macker. And when I heard that was coming back, that's a big win for the city. not to mention all the people that come around to come to the city. But it's just a big win for us that live in the city, because that was our that was big for us on the south side of town. It's big for a city. You know, everybody got to come to the south side of town that weekend instead of, kind of, not as much as what they normally would. But it's an honor to have it back. It's an honor to know that we have an organization that is fighting to get that back. I am very proud that you fought to get that back. That means a lot more than, than anything is to have that back. And that's really cool. And I know that was not easy. And I'm not going to speak on how that came back or how about that came back. I'm going to let them tell you that. We have numerous representation from the Southside Neighborhood Association. So if you're with the Southside Neighborhood Association, could you please come up? And can we please give them a round of applause for bringing a Muncie icon back?
Well, a couple of years, can you hear me? Communication with Gus Macker started 2 years ago. I know, like we said, Southside, it was such a big deal to have it at Southside High School many years ago, and it was there for quite a few years before they had to stop to do some renovations on the high school whenever they built onto the gymnasium. So it was always a huge deal. And like you said, all the kids from Ross Center, anybody who played basketball at all showed up. It was a massive event. At one point, there was even 1,200 teams that played in it. We're looking to bring back 200 to 300. We don't want a huge event that's way out of control or anything like that. But so if you're building your teams, get registered soon, okay? And registration is open now. And we are also accepting any sponsorships available. And I hope, obviously, the city council is very supportive of this event, and I hope to get some volunteers out of them maybe, and maybe even a team or two. So
Let's do it. Sarah, you want to? Okay. We'll go.
well, I'm Courtney, president of the Southside Neighborhood Association. And I'm very excited for this opportunity, not just for us, but for the city as a whole. A lot of people were really sad when the Gus Macker left about 12 years ago. 15. And so we're excited for the opportunity for it to be able to be something back in our community. And so we're looking for not only sponsorship, not only teams, we're looking for the community to come together and help us, not only at the pre-version of this particular tournament, but during the time and the after. So if you or someone you know would be so gracious to volunteer, please reach out to us. We haven't officially opened up the volunteer registration, but we are looking for a ton of people to be able to come out, not only have a good time, but help us make sure that this will come back next year.
Steve Craig, I'll just say that with 200 teams, that's approximately, including the players and the spectators, almost 10,000 people over the course of that weekend. I mean, that's big. That's, the economic impact for the city and the South Side is really big. It's changed a little bit. It's now about 70% youth groups. So 70% of the teams are under the age of 18 now. So that's big, and that's what we want. We want a lot of new players. So really, really like, kids that want to sign up, please do. And so that's what I got.
Can we please stand and giving the February Citizen of the Month to the Southside Neighborhood Association for bringing the Gus Macker back.
Thank you, Steve.
Mr. President, Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Dishman.
could I say something?
Yes, sir.
I like to let people know how appreciative I am of the city's employees on the street department. When we had a snow emergency, they had a big task to perform. They went into neighborhoods. I don't know how the other districts up here, but the District 5 was very well taken care of. I never had the first complaint, somebody call me and say, hey, my streets are blocked or whatever. And I would like to give them a big thanks. And I also would like to thank the Muncie Police Department for being out there in the sub-zero weather. You know, when somebody has an accident out there, I know they go through a bunch of trauma too with the snowstorms. The Muncie firefighters, I'd like to thank them. They had a fire over there on Willard Street in a big, in a trailer over there. It went up. I know they had a tough time fighting it. They was out in the cold and stuff. And I would like to thank the EMTs too, because they was right there with them. And all of our city employees stepped up and kept us all safe while this emergency was around. And I thank you people.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next month's citizen recognition will be by Sara Gullion. That brings us to roll call, please.
Dishman,
President.
Ms. Selvey,
Present.
Mr. McIntosh,
Present.
Mr. Mason,
Present.
Ms. Powell,
Here.
Mr. Garrett,
Present.
Ms. Gullion,
Here.
Mr. Basham,
Here.
President Garrett.
Here. Moving to approval of minutes of last month.
So moved.
Second.
Well, I don't know which one got which.
Mason.
Mr. Mason.
Ms. Powell.
And seconded by Ms. Powell. Okay. Roll call on that, please.
Mr. Mason.
Yeah.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Mr. Dishman,
Yes.
Mr. Basham,
Yes.
Mr. McIntosh,
Yes.
Ms. Gullion,
Yes.
Ms. Selvey,
Yes.
Ms. Powell,
Yes.
President Green.
Yes. Okay, moving on to public comment at this time. Who's first on the
Oh, you
list?
want
You
to
have the
today?
list.
Okay.
Yes,
Miss Courtney.
that's page 2.
Okay, page 1. Mr. Richard Yancer, please.
Oh, that's my name. No, be cool. Rick Yenser, newsman, author, and, oh, yeah, you got the microphone. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't pay attention anymore. But anyway, I also direct now the latest show in town called The Quill and the Quiver. Some of you know because we're testing it right now, and it's going to be our new news. But anyway, a couple things. Hopefully, with Macker coming back, you might want to look in your park plan that I looked at a couple weeks ago, and the city committed money because there's going to be needing help to fund this with 10,000 people coming to town. I know Destination Muncie have bought in, the schools have bought in, and I hope the city will buy into this project too. And as far as follow the money tonight, I got a couple other numbers when you consider spending edit money instead of using it to create jobs or have business and industry and giving it to charity. We got the year-end report for Ball Brothers and Community Foundation. Ball Brothers gave $8 million. Community Foundation gave $4 million. So I don't think you need to use that money for charity. You need to use it. Yeah, well, I suppose you could use it for public works, public safety, like Jerry said. But I still don't understand how putting development money into community or charity is going to help create jobs and bring people here. And in the meantime, hopefully everybody get a chance to speak because it's afforded under the Constitution. There can't be any law by local or state government that overrules the Constitution or the right to people to redress their government. So thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mr. Zindelin. Ethics Commission.
Good evening, Susan Dillon, and as the new chair of the Muncie Ethics Commission, I wanted to take this opportunity on behalf of the commission to first of all thank you for the opportunity to serve our community in this way. I also publicly wanted to acknowledge and thank Dr. Chip Taylor for the extensive amount of work that he put into this last year, put into making sure that the commission was up and running. He is so appreciated in everything he did behind the scenes. Another thing I wanted to mention is I believe that that you have received a copy of our annual report and wanted to mention that that is on the ethics portal for public review. Also on the public the portal is the copy of the ethics ordinance. So we just request if somebody would like to submit a complaint to review the ordinance closely, make sure that it falls within our jurisdiction, and then follow the instructions that are on the portal. Another thing we can provide if needed, or if it would be helpful, would be an advisory opinion. We haven't provided any of those yet, but I wanted to make sure that everyone knew that that is an opportunity that we could do. Also wanted to call attention to the fact that we have a transparency portal now. What it is it is a list of the city contracts, and those are available for public review. We appreciate the hard work of the clerk's office and of the department heads in helping us get that pulled together. So in closing, I just want to reiterate, thank you for the opportunity to serve in this capacity.
Thank you.
Miss Elizabeth Riddle.
I need to lower this a little. Hello, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Riddle. I've been a Muncie resident for 23 years and 20 years before that in the county. I urge the council to support Ordinance 03-26. And I would like to say that this should not be an issue of political philosophy. Having and sticking to a clearly stated procedure for proposing ordinances should avoid trouble and benefit everybody. Also, I oppose the proposed changes to the rules for public comment at city council meetings. And although I see a number of problems with the proposed comment changes, I'll just mention 3 here. First, I think that removing comment from the public for the introduction of an ordinance seems counterproductive for full consideration of the issues by the council, because useful ideas may come up from in such comments which may not have been anticipated by the council beforehand. We have a lot of different kinds of people in the community with different ideas, so I think that's good to encourage. And they could be incorporated into a proposed ordinance at the outset. And secondly, I think citizens should be able to comment on issues that come up during a council meeting for the same reason. And third, commenters should not be required to state their home address publicly in a council meeting. That could open them up to harassment by bad actors in the community, in the public, and inhibit freedom of speech. I think I understand why you want to know where commenters live, but I think they could give their district and or zip code. So in short, the entire city council should do everything possible to welcome comments of the citizens of Muncie in order to consider a variety of opinions and to encourage participatory democracy. And thank you for your attention, and to the committee, the council, sorry, for the complicated work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Daisy Dale.
Just a moment before you speak, I would like to make a comment. And I agree with the not giving of the address. I think that in the day and age in which we live in today, there are a lot of things that would transpire that should not. So if you would just merely say that you are a citizen of the city of Muncie. I think that would suffice. We'd like the citizens to be able to speak. I think that's important. Okay. Floor's yours.
Hi, Daisy Dale. Thanks for saying that because I don't have an address to give out. I can give you my social security number if that would.
Oh, no.
No,
No, we don't want that either.
I'm standing here to address the fact that the last meeting, as soon as Jeff Green became the new president of council, he immediately decided to make 6 different changes, 5, I guess now, that were all intended to restrict the free speech of members of this audience. I'm speaking as someone who's going to be, who's been going to these meetings for the last 2 years. I've had to skip other important things in my life just to be here and to stay involved. I've had to suffer through every decision the council has made since you were all sworn in. To mention just half of the changes, one of them being members of the council can only speak for 2 minutes instead of 3. 2 members of the public cannot sign up to speak after the meeting starts. And 3, as you just said, has changed. Speakers will have to state their home address. Thank you for changing that. The decision doesn't come as any surprise. The series of decisions doesn't come as any surprise to most people in this room, but it absolutely reflects the members of the council that they don't have any conviction what they believe in. Even though members of council like Jeff Green could spend their time listening to their own districts, they'd rather just follow orders and listen to their own political party. Putting those changes aside and forgetting council's lack of care when it comes to parliamentary procedures or transparency, Jeff Green's decision is nothing more than a continuation of a vast set of other restrictions, making it harder for residents to get any information from the city hall. Just to give recent examples, any of the recordings from the city council meetings from the middle of 2024 and before then have now been erased from online. As of right now, the communications director has not given an answer whether or not those recordings are saved anywhere at City Hall. It's extremely telling that the mayor's administration doesn't see any value in archiving them, and it's absolutely something that the council should be proactive in having a say over, I think. On top of this, the communications director decided to stop sharing links on social media, directing people where to watch any of the public meetings online. I also want to mention the fact that there have been no major disruptions made at the meeting so far by the audience members, and we've seen more chaos come up between our council and the mayor than anything else. Yet Jeff Green added that council will, quote, not put up with language nor attitudes that are incorrect and would cause dissension. It's a bullshit statement for obvious reasons, I think, but it's also massively hypocritical considering council won't even acknowledge a recent statement made by communications director Amber Green, my bad, where she made a lewd sexual joke about transgender people. I think I speak for a vast number of people in this room who say that if you guys don't care about professionalism or yourselves, for yourselves or anyone in the mayor's office, none of us should care either. Thank you.
Miss Rita, I'm sorry, Faulkner, is that correct? Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My topic is the new city council meeting rules. I am concerned about the troubling new meeting rules that discourage public and democratic participation. Before those new regulations were adopted, there needed to be public comment and a vote by the council for a resolution or ordinance laying them out. First, I'm offended by your authoritarian attitude, Council President Green. As you can surmise, I am bothered by the notion of policing attitude. How can you determine what is an attitude undeserving of free speech? What attitudes will be censored? What standards would be fair and just? Second, I'm in favor of civility, so I would not mind a prohibition on foul language. I have been shocked and disappointed by the examples of incivility given to the American people since 2015 or 2016. Third, the new timing of comments is totally out of whack. Public comments should come at the end of the meeting so residents can comment on what took place during the meeting. Fourth, a 2-minute limit on public comments is too short to develop some points. The 3-minute limit should be maintained. Fifth, as regards no comments on ordinance being introduced, it makes no sense, as Councilwoman Powell pointed out at last month's meeting. The public should have input on proposed ordinances before the last minute so that council members can consider their feedback when they vote on whether to introduce an ordinance, and if it is introduced over the next month before the council votes on whether to pass it. In addition, the public should have the opportunity to comment on resolutions before they are passed. Thank you, council members, for your careful consideration of these remarks. I will email them to you so that you can fully understand them since I had to talk so fast. Thank you.
Miss Ellen Whitehead.
Hi, my name is Ellen Whitehead. I'm a Muncie resident, and my views do not represent those of my employer. I'm speaking today to urge you to reconsider the new rules for public comment at council meetings that were introduced in January. I want to begin by thanking Council President Green by already removing the requirement to give one's address, which was one of my concerns coming into this meeting. I want to also urge you to reconsider the changes to when residents are allowed to speak, specifically moving public comment to the beginning of the meeting and eliminating opportunities to comment on ordinances when they are introduced. I want to especially emphasize that I believe these rules will make meetings more confusing, disorganized, and inefficient. For example, if people know that they cannot comment at the end of meetings, they may try to raise issues throughout the meeting, even when they don't align with the agenda item at hand. Further, if there is no opportunity to comment when ordinances go up for introduction, I think that people will look for other moments to give feedback, including during unrelated discussions. I want to highlight that we already saw some signs of this at the January meeting as speakers began to try and navigate what they could say and when, even though these rules had not even yet formally taken effect. Overall, I worry these changes will increase confusion and inefficiency at council meetings. Thank you in advance for considering these concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alex Kluber.
Good evening, Council. Alex Kluber. I live in, I'm a Muncie resident. In my views, do not express those of my employer. Applaud you for reconsidering the address issue, and I respectfully ask that you also consider to keep public comment at the end of the meeting and allow the 3 minutes per speaker. I just want to say, it goes without saying, if individuals have to speak at the beginning of the meeting, they won't be aware of any information shared during the meeting, right? And that could be relevant to their remarks. So I think it puts the public at an information disadvantage, and it could make the whole process less effective. Whereas having public comment at the end of the meeting, I think it makes it possible to have a more productive interchange. Also say many members of the public may be coming from work or other obligations. I think attending the meeting may be one of the few times they have to sit and think about some of these issues that come before council. And I think they should have just as much opportunity to participate meaningfully in the process. So I ask, consider keeping public comment at the end and also on the introduction of ordinances, just to give the public the most opportunities to provide input and participate. And then I'll just also say, if you have a chance to interact with any folks on any of the numerous boards or commissions, to encourage them to make an effort this year to make sure all their agendas and meeting minutes are posted online. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the last name, Jerry Waite or Wyatt. I apologize. Wait, I apologize. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm Jerry Waite. I live in District 5. Thank you for the change on the address thing. That was my principal complaint, and a serious one. I don't want to give my address to basically Republican group that has MAGA followers. Just don't want to do that. But I am concerned about the changes in the meetings, and I do feel it was authoritarian in the way that it was done. But the 2-minute rule is not enough. we need a little more time. When we can comment, it needs to be later in the meeting on stuff that's been introduced. So there may be 2 comment times in the meeting. I'm not sure how to do that, but we need to get as much public comment and as much public participation as we possibly can in what you do. I think the council does overall an excellent job, and I really appreciate the fact that you are considering what we have to say about the presentation rules. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wayne Scaife.
Wayne Scaife. First of all, I don't like any of the changes, just to be blunt. Civility, formal politeness and courtesy in behavior or speech. You stated that we'll conduct ourselves in a civil manner. But being uncivilized doesn't just come in the form of anger or outrage. It can also come in the form of laughter, giggling, which I see a lot going on up at the council, between you council members, snickering, even your body movements when you show a lack of care or concern when someone is speaking that you don't agree with, shifting, rolling your eyes, that's being uncivil. Emotions run high in these meetings. So whether you laugh, frown, or give an angry outburst, it can also be described as being uncivil. But not one elected official has the right to decide which definition of civility that he or she wants to follow just because it fits his narrative. I believe that's wrong. I believe it's unnecessary. And just to say, talk about the profanity, I've been coming to these meetings, and you can't just use that excuse because you said some people are using profanity, because it doesn't happen. But I think that was just an excuse. But anyway, so let me go on to the next one. Not being able to speak during the introduction of introduction of ordinances. As Ms. Powell already pointed out, Chief Sloan got up here and spoke and asked for y'all to, what word am I looking for? Suspend the rules. Because he spoke during the introduction of an ordinance, y'all did it. And Ms. Selvey was the one that made the motion. But I didn't hear her say anything about let's reconsider. Ms. Powell was the only one that objected out of all you council members to the rules, and I thank her for that. Mr. Green, you even stated you would have liked to hear from some of the kids during the introduction. So if you do away with that, you contradicted yourself by saying you wanted to hear from the kids. And everyone who voted to suspend these rules on the orders, but only one person objected to silencing the public during the introduction. I think all these need to be reconsidered, because I went to every forum, debate that you guys had to get these positions, and we listened. Now it's your turn to listen to us. So I hope these changes don't go into effect. I see they're doing tonight, but this needs to be reconsidered. And I think every one of you other councilmen should be saying something to him, because it's not fair to the people that are elected. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Melinda Messinio, please.
Hello, thank you all for being here. Melinda Messinio, my positions do not reflect those of my employer. I would like to publicly thank the AAUW, the League of Women Voters, and the Committee of Experienced Educators for hosting a very important education event this weekend. I want to also publicly thank Representative Selvey, Gullion, and Powell for their presence there. I'd love to see a show of hands in the room who also was at the educational event today. I know a lot of you were there at Moms. How many of you were there at the event? A couple people were there. Very good. Thank you for showing up. Really important information shared about our educational system here in the state of Indiana, and it will have definite effects on our city and our community. I'd also like to announce that this Saturday is the Black History Month kickoff event at Minnetrista. And with appreciation, Mayor Ridenauer will be giving a proclamation at that event. So thank you for participating in Black History Month kickoff event. In terms of the conversation around the new rules, I want to amplify those comments made by my neighbors prior. I'd also like to ask the question, as we consider these, what is the problem that we're trying to solve? As we define the problem, that will also define our solution. I appreciate, Green, that you've already thought of how this impact has helped you make decisions. So I hope you'll continue that conversation. I believe that having feedback prior has helped us make better decisions. I recognize you're all very, very busy people with lots of things going on. This time together helps give you feedback that I know in other contexts might be hard to get. So thank you all for your time and your consideration and for already making movement on changing these rules.
Thank you.
Miss Beth Messner.
Good evening. Thank you all. My name is Beth Messner. I am a resident of the city of Muncie, and the views I express are not those representative of my employer. I'm here to also encourage that the 3-minute rule and comments placed at the end of our meeting be retained. I think what we all agree to is that freedom of expression is at the heart of a participant democracy. It's what's necessary for a healthy and functioning republic. The rules, as I understand them, will silence public voices, which is not something that we want to be encouraging if we are indeed champions of freedom of expression. Emotions run high at these meetings because people care. They care a lot. And some people express their concern and their passion more dramatically than others. But the one thing that should never be questioned is people's interest, their need to be engaged, their desire to be engaged, and their concern for the well-being of our community. Citizens' voices matter. They bring substantive ideas to the room. They encourage robust conversation about important issues, and they help us better understand the advantages and disadvantages of public policy that you are deliberating over. The rules that we pose for these meetings should widen, not restrict public input. I understand the importance of efficiency, but I do ask efficiency at what cost? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Christopher Bilbrey.
Good evening. My name is Christopher Bilbrey, and while I don't agree with this, and I won't ever do it again, I will never do this again, I am not a citizen of Muncie. I live a mile outside of the city of Muncie. Most of my life is conducted in the city of Muncie. I pay a hell of a lot of taxes here, just like everybody else. The fact that the city of Muncie is the county seat, I feel like the government here affects a lot of what I do. And I don't care if I was coming from Tishomingo or Seattle. This is America. You guys have First Amendments here. We would be able to speak. You will not be able to stop us from speaking, whether we give address or not. Whether I live in Muncie or not, I will always come here and I will speak without giving my address, okay? The day after the meeting last time, I was contacted by the Republican Party chairman, and he tried selling me on why these ideas were changing. And what was bizarre about this was I was hearing from the Republican Party chairman. Now, I'm a conservative, and I guarantee you, and you will not believe this, and there will be people that will laugh and scoff, but I am more of a conservative than any of the Republicans sitting on the dais. And I am fighting and standing with those that are liberals and Democrats in condemning you for these rules changes. I was told by the Republican Party chairman, maybe I should be nicer, and maybe I should try emailing the party chairman, or the president. And I laughed in our phone call because I've been emailing you, sir, since you've been up there. Here are 5 examples of emails. I didn't cuss you. I wasn't rude. and you haven't answered a damn one of these. I would like to know why. Can you answer why you don't respond? When I say to you, how can we meet in the middle and move forward? Good morning, Mr. President. Can I have a couple of questions? I have a couple of questions about City Council, and I'm hoping to hear back from you so we can set up a conversation so I could ask you a few questions and hopefully get some answers. Could you please respond? I hope you have a good day. Can you tell me how I've been rude in these emails that you refuse to respond? Or are you just going to sit there like a bump on the log like you have for the last 4 years? Okay, you're pathetic sitting right there. You do not serve the people. And I want to be very clear. My thoughts are responsive of the your employers. Okay, your employers feel the same way. That's the public. I just don't understand what you guys are doing. Why don't we meet the public where they are? And we have public concern at the front and at the back. That way, if people want to come here, they can speak and leave if they so choose. The people who hear something that's going on in the meeting, they can speak at the end. It would be great if you would start to meet the public where they are. Wouldn't that be fantastic? That's what you're elected to do. Also, House Bill 1338, which discussed decorum, it was in 2024 that was voted on down at the House, stated that if you guys were going to set up rules, that you needed to vote on these rules and you needed to post them on the door. And you made these rules up last time, I guess without anybody else's input. You guys didn't vote on these. And so I would say that the rules don't go in effect until you do that. If you want to look at House Bill, it's 1338 and it went in law last year. I don't agree with it, but if you're going to try to violate our rights and be authoritarian, you might at least follow the rules that have been put in place for you guys. Lastly, let me see here. I think that's pretty much it. I guess I would just like to say in passing that I would really appreciate if you could start responding to emails. And I'm going to give you just a second because I would like an answer. Oh, hold on. Someone's saying.
Mr. President, may I ask a question of the commenter?
It's supposed to be public comment. You just listening to what he has to say.
She can ask me a question.
Is it okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, ask him a
So
question.
point of clarity, the Republican Party chair called you to explain the rules.
Yep. And he told me that the rules were changing because there had been a couple of businesses, 1 or 2 or 3 businesses in the city of Muncie that over the last couple of years had either packed up and left or refused to come to Muncie because of the chaos and disorder in the meetings. And I pushed back on the party chairman and I said, well, if we've seen any chaos, it's come from the council.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen chaos from here. When you guys talk about chaos and you're trying to correct people's behaviors, I don't know whose behaviors you're trying to correct. And first of all, I would say correct your own before you try correcting ours. That's the biggest issue. I did try reaching out to the mayor. I tried reaching back out to the party chairman. And I think I tried reaching out to you, sir, and asking if you were aware of what these businesses were, what meetings they were specifically talking about, because I would like to go back and watch them. And I would like to have seen, because I guarantee you the disorder would have came from the dais.
I have one follow-up question, Mr. President.
Yes, ma'am.
No more questions. Thank you for your comments, sir. We appreciate it very much.
So you're not going to answer why you don't email?
Mr. President, am I not allowed to
I can talk
follow
with
up?
you after the meeting.
You will talk with me after the meeting.
I will
There's
talk
no
with you
point of
after the meeting.
clarity?
She can ask a point of clarity.
That's fine.
Did you say she could or she couldn't?
I said she could.
Oh, okay.
I guess my question is to you, sir.
To me, not
Yes,
you.
well, to you, but I guess to follow up, why, if that's the reasoning, why that's the first I've heard of the fact that we've lost businesses because of council meetings. And so my question is, number one, why is this being discussed with Republican Party chairman and you and not with the rest of the council members? And so might be a question for you, Mayor, because I would like some clarification there. I would like to know who we've lost and what they've cited and what meetings they're discussing and why you discuss this with Republican Party chairman as opposed to the council who is supposedly responsible. So if we could schedule a meeting with council, even an executive session to discuss those things, I think that would be in order.
Council.
Thank you.
I'll be waiting for you when you're done. And the only thing is, I'm going to record that conversation because I want everybody to be able to hear it. So just FYI.
I'm sorry if I mispronounce or missay the name. Stanley Bostic, Mr. Stanley or Miss Stanley Bostic. Thank you. Just let it go.
Good evening, council. Well, many of you guys know me, and you know my name is not Stanley Bostic. It's one of the aliases I use from time to time. I wasn't willing this evening to forfeit my First Amendment right to freedom of speech, nor my Fourth Amendment right to illegal search and seizure. But I will willingly give my name as Ryan Webb, and I'm here this evening to really object to the decisions that was made at the last meeting with the public comment. Listen, I know public comment can get testy sometimes. It can be uncomfortable, but that's part of the game. That's what we sign up to do when you run for office. And most of the time, you're not getting attaboys. It's usually people, you know, reaming you and telling you how horrible you are and what you did wrong. And but it's necessary. It's necessary to keep us grounded. I know some of you are active on social media, but I know a few of you who are ghosts on social media. So this is really the only opportunity for many of these folks to be able to interact with you. So I think it's important that they get that opportunity. I would say that I think you should, and I want to say, President Green, I applaud you. You show you're a person of reason by reconsidering the address thing tonight. I think that's wonderful. And I hope that after these comments here this evening that you guys will all come together and come up with something a little bit more reasonable. I want to make a quick suggestion, and I think is a great model, is what the Delaware County Council does. They have a list as well, but it's only to reserve your place in line. They put the first name on. It's for people to save their place in line. And at the end of all the public comment, the president says, "Is there anyone else who would like to speak?" That takes care of anyone who comes in the door late, anyone who didn't want to give their name. But it gives everyone an opportunity without necessarily forcing them to give up their identity by the local government when they haven't committed a crime. You got to look at it from that perspective. There's been several councils that have went down this road. It never ends well. Like even tonight, you guys are doing way too many good things with the council, with the administration, to have this unforced air. You're opening the door for criticism and conflict. It's unnecessary. Look, I'm a Republican. I don't like giving lefties any ammunition, and you're giving them ammunition. I would hope you would reconsider this and meet the people where they are. None of you have ever taken as much heat in those seats as I did when I was an elected official, and that's just part of the game. So I ask you to reconsider. Thank you so much.
Miss Lynn Thornburg, please.
Lynn Thornburg, been a resident of the city of Muncie in my 8th decade. Been at this podium here and back when it was on Jackson Street, bringing up things in my neighborhood, telling good news, bad news, raising questions. This is where it's supposed to be. When I go to different gatherings where they're training neighborhood association people, they say, go to your council meetings, raise issues, find out. So this would limit that. I mean, so they'll have to do all their training over again. I want to, again, reiterate what everybody said about if you come at the end, I mean, there's no input. Why do you sometimes have public hearings for public input? So each meeting is a public meeting, a public hearing. And to me, I would welcome the input. And like finding out about the businesses that, well, what caused that? I mean, maybe if the businesses or the administration or whoever met with affected parties, the neighborhood association or the neighbors, you know, ahead of time and started trying to figure out, work things out, then maybe it wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, you're going to put that in my backyard? You know, I mean, I'm just saying, these are ways that we can bring our concerns. And I've lived this for 5 decades, you know? And the other thing is, we tell people to come to city council to give input. So there might be people sitting here that want to talk, and it might just be, nobody ever plows my, you know, or there's junk cars. I mean, what's there now? What's their avenue? Will they have to come at the beginning and raise that, and then you guys will have to stop and think about that? Or will you just write it down and say, somebody said that? But I can't believe that such a variety of conservative, liberals, rights, left, blue, red, have been up here to raise these same issues. So listen to our voices, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Paul Partizana.
Good evening. Paul Partizana, citizen of Muncie, and I'm here tonight to talk about, oh, I can do this. I'm here to talk about win-win. Last meeting, I asked about the former Borg Warner site. I brought that up, and I did a Google search, and it was sold to a gentleman by the name of Jim Wallace in 2017. That's the latest I got. It's the Jim Wallace Company, and now it's co-owned by institutional investors. And so that's about all I've got is there's a company and there's some investors that have it. And I'm here to ask for your help. If anybody knows a way that we as citizens can have agency and voice in this, I'd be happy to contact people to get the ball rolling, because I want it to look, when we go to Yorktown and we come into Muncie on 32, there is no reason why it cannot look like Pendleton, Noblesville, Fishers, or Carmel, okay? It would be win-win for this. And so if anybody here finds out how we contact and how we get things started, let us know on social media or the Muncie Star Press, because I'd be really, really happy to get the ball rolling on that one for the year 2026. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is transparency. When we have democratic participation, free expression, and transparency, everybody wins. And so I'm urging you to please adopt Ordinance 326 tonight, okay? Or whenever it comes up for an adoption, okay? And I just want to leave us with this. Everybody in this room, let's all get better than who we already are, okay? Thank you.
Miss Mary Moore, please.
My name is Mary Moore. I live in Precinct 1, which is District 3. And I'd like to make sure that everyone knows that my comments are my own and not my employer's. I'd like to thank the council tonight for clarifying that public comment now requires advanced clairvoyance. Since comments are limited to 2 minutes at the very beginning of the meeting, and ordinances or resolutions that are up for introduction will not have their own comment portions, residents are apparently expected to know before the meeting starts their own comments. Unfortunately, my crystal ball is in the shop, so instead I'll rely on the next best thing, which is past meetings. Based on those, I can reasonably predict that some of us will leave here tonight with questions that we were not allowed to ask about process or timing or maybe even community impact, and we will be told to bring those questions back next month. Clearly, after the decisions of the council are most likely already made. The council, well, more fitting, the council's president, Jeffrey Green, declared his declaration treats public comment like feedback on a final paper rather than a draft. When items are introduced, that's the moment when questions or concerns or missing information should be considered. Waiting until the vote meeting means the feedback arrives when those margins are already closed. Public comment works best when it is responsive, not prophetic. Right now, participation is being treated like fortune telling rather than civic engagement. And while I'm happy to wait until next month, I'd prefer not to need a crystal ball to participate in my own local government. Thank you.
Miss Courtney Marsh.
Good evening, Council. My name is Courtney Marsh. I live within the city limits on the south side of town. I come to you today with a question. It's a question that we're going to talk about tonight, referring to Ordinance 1-26. When the mayor announced the information at the last city council meeting, there was a list, if you will, of places that the edit money was going to be going. And not that I agree with every portion of it, but I'm excited for some of it. On one of those lines, it listed the community center that is currently forming a board. And beside that, it said TBD. I'm not sure what that means. Other people in the community might not know what that means either. To be determined is what I assume it means. And I'd like to know why is TBD next to community center, but it's not next to any of the other items. They talk about giving money out to different organizations and entities. And again, I'm supporting of most of those. I just have a question on why that particular line item. So sorry. Why that particular line item had a TBD at the end. And since the ordinance is on the list tonight to be spoken about, I'd really appreciate if one of you would be able to ask that or for the mayor to address it when he comes up to speak. That is all for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Miss Janetta Presley.
Hi, I'm Janetta Presley, and I live in Muncie in the Thomas Park Avenue area. I'm here about a program that your city has called Critical Home Repairs. So they put a furnace in my house trailer 2 years ago, and that furnace almost burnt my trailer down today. So I had called, it went out, the furnace went out. I called up to Ms. Cheeseman's office to talk to them about the warranty on it, and I never got her, but I did get someone from her office. They said there was no warranty on the furnace, that they did not purchase warranties on those furnaces when they got them to have them put in, that it would be at my, I would have to pay to have it looked at and worked on. So I contacted the company that put it in for the city, and they told me the same thing. She said the city did not get any warranty on the furnace or parts or labor or anything. They wanted $250 to come out and look at it, and then it would be Thursday before they could even get it fixed. As you all know, I am a hospice patient, and I can't do without a furnace. So I went above and beyond, and Mike Martin helped me find someone to come out. Summers Heating and Cooling came out. They charged me $98 to look at it, and when he pulled it apart, he was appalled. He said it was not put together correctly. He said that it was lucky that it hadn't burnt my trailer down sooner, and I will have this all in a letter from Summers Heating and Cooling. They're going to mail it to me, they said. So they had to fix it. So he fixed it. It cost me $419. But they gave me a discount because I was on hospice and my partner is a veteran. And so they gave us a discount. It would have been like over $800 to fix this furnace that should have been under some kind of warranty with this program that it came from. He asked me for the booklet to the furnace. I gave it to him. He opened it up and he could see where someone had tore out the warranty for the furnace that was in the booklet, but I hadn't done that. I had just put the booklet up when they gave it to me. So somebody had taken that out. And so that furnace had no warranty on it whatsoever. So if my furnace doesn't have a warranty on it, how many other furnaces that have been put in by this program doesn't have a warranty on it? And this is just our second year using this furnace.
May I, Mr. President?
Yes, go ahead.
When you said appalled, was appalled probably because it was not put in up to code, correct?
Yes, they said that it was not put in up to code.
Okay.
And when they put it in, like no one came out from the city inspector's office and inspected
Not
it.
one?
Not anybody. Nobody came and inspected it. I can tell you the company that put it in, but
Yeah, what's?
you want to know?
Yeah.
Comfort Heating.
Okay. And you said this is a 2-year, this is your second winter
Yes.
running the furnace?
Yes.
Okay. Could you give me or could I see what Comfort Air gave to you versus this furnace that they inspected that was in your home now?
I'm not understanding.
Well, when Comfort Air came out
Yeah.
or Summer came out to show you and give you what they had to fix, could I see what they had to fix?
Yeah, it was
You like
the
your
igniter.
invoice? Yeah,
It
yeah.
was the igniter.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and the igniter has these
Thank
two little wires that come out, and those wires actually was touching the heating element, and they burnt in half.
So they were piggybacked.
And
Yeah.
they burnt down. And he said that we were lucky that they stopped, and it just didn't take the whole
Yeah,
trailer.
we after this, let's have a conversation because this is not up to our city code at all. Thank you. Let's me and you please have a conversation after this. This is my wheelhouse, please.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
I just wanted to let you know that the furnace did not have any warranties.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have to worry about a warranty with a 2-year-old furnace like that. That's just plain and simple. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Wait,
Yes.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have never heard of critical home repairs program. What's that? Does anybody on this council heard?
I have not.
What is critical home repairs?
So it's through Home Savers, Community Development. Because, and
Thank
it's
you. I'll
through
look into
Gretchen
it. Okay.
Cheeseman.
So that's the name of the program.
Yeah, yes.
And how did you apply for it? How did you?
I
figure out-
applied for it here at the city hall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good questions. Have you heard of it? Okay, I'm sorry. Mr. Joseph Souza.
Hello, my name is Joseph Souza. I'm a recent graduate of Ball State University, majored here in political science. I just came back from giving testimony at the State House over SB 72. I won't get into the specifics of the bill. Tony Skinner the county sheriff was there advocating for it, but I wanted to mention that it's more difficult now to sign up for this city council to give public comment than it was for me to go to an Indiana House Judiciary Committee meeting and give testimony. And that is absolutely ludicrous. They have a public and an online portal, right? That's just one thing to start out with. But if to remind everyone the rules that this so-called president tried to pass before the council, members of the public can only speak for 2 minutes instead of 3. Ordinances up for introduction will not have their own comment portions. No members of the public can sign up to speak after the meeting starts. Public comments will take place at the start of meetings instead of the end. And council, quote, will not put up with language nor attitudes that are incorrect or cause dissension. 6, which was changed immediately. Speakers will have to state their home address while at the podium. I think what's scary to me is that those words can come out of your mouth during a public meeting and no one around you, not enough people around you, tell you how utterly ridiculous that is. For people to come before this meeting and have to give their entire home address to speak with you, I'm not telling you to change it. What I'm telling you is that if you implement those rules as they're stated, you don't need a law degree, you don't need a suit and tie, you don't need to be a genius to know it's unconstitutional, it's illegal, and it's gonna get you sued.
Miss Chelsea McDaniel, I apologize. McDonald. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. Thank you everybody for being here. I want to say that I agree with all the comments from people who have come up here and disagreed with the new rules about what we can do and say in this council meeting. I'm going to actually say something a little bit different though. I look around this room and I see a lot of people who would rather be home. This has been a long night already. I don't know if you were expecting this, President Green, but it's been a long night already. And I'd like to be home. I know a lot of people here would like to be home. I usually listen from home, but I had to come tonight because what is happening is just so absolutely ridiculous. We wouldn't have to sit here for this long listening to these people come up and talk to you about this if you didn't do it in the first place. I also think that you already know this, but I'm going to say it for everybody else in this room, and I implore you to do your due diligence in looking at the laws of this land. I am a Muncie resident, and I am also a citizen of the United States of America, and these rules are illegal. You know it. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Preston.
I don't know.
Mr. Preston Home. It was written in cursive. Preston, K. Okay, so did I say your name correctly? Where's Mr. Preston? Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Jackson Franklin.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jackson Franklin. I live here in Muncie in District 3. I'm a combat medic in the Indiana Army National Guard and a paramedic, but my views are my own, of course. Firstly, I didn't come up here to talk about this part, but I'm curious why the doors were locked shut, because there's been a few times where us and the public have had to let our fellow members of the public back in. I don't think that's usual, because I think that should be open for people to come in this meeting. I'm sure many, I let him back. I had to walk out there. Yeah, it's a closed door, and it's supposed to be like open to the public. So I just wanted to, that's not what I'm mainly here for, but it's something I noticed on the way. Just look into that, please. But I am here today to oppose the new restrictions on public comment recently implemented by the Council President Jeff Green, removing public comment for the introduction of an ordinance. Also, this thing is way too short. Anyways, removing public comment for the introduction of an ordinance will remove the chance of for residents to raise important information or concerns early in the process. It also prevents public comment that could justifiably expedite the adoption of ordinances for important matters. I urge Council President Green and members of this body to please reconsider these new rules. I think it would be good to have public comment at both the beginning and end at the very least. And yes, for at least 3 minutes, not 2 minutes, because that's just way too short. Public comment is not a nuisance. It is not a procedural obstacle. It is not something to be minimized or avoided. Public comment is democracy in action. City government exists to serve the people who live here, work here, raise families here, and invest their lives in this community. When residents come to speak, they're not wasting time. They are offering lived experience, expertise, and perspectives that government officials simply cannot have on their own. Many of us cannot attend every meeting. Many people work nights, multiple jobs, or have childcare responsibilities. When residents do show up, it's because something deeply matters to them. Removing opportunities to speak sends a message that convenience is being placed above community input. Freedom of speech is not only a national value, it must be practiced and enforced locally. The First Amendment is not just about protecting speech from federal interference, it's about ensuring that government at every level remains open and accountable to the people. On top of that, as others have mentioned, public comment is often messy, it can be emotional, sometimes it is critical. But democracy is not supposed to be tidy, it's supposed to be open. It's supposed to allow disagreement. That is how better decisions are made. So making rules for us, the public, to be civil in the council, in their speaking, while many actions taken by the council is, as my friend said, is bullshit, as a slippery slope into other word policing. What happens if what you see as uncivil is seen as just the honest truth by most of us in the community? What if critique against our city council actions are seen as offensive? What if we see your actions and your votes as uncivil or offensive? That wouldn't be quite fair. I urge you to reconsider these restrictions. On top of that, sometimes public comment improves policy. Residents point out unintended consequences. They highlight overlooked communities. They provide data, personal stories, and practical solutions. Cutting off public comment risks passing policies without fully understanding their impact on us, the public. I'm getting close to ending, I promise. This chamber should be a place where residents feel welcomed, not discouraged, where participation is, not restricted, where disagreement is heard, not avoided. There's also another important point. Trust in government is already, as you guys know, very fragile. Many people feel disconnected from their politics and they feel left out of the system. When opportunities to participate are reduced, it only deepens the feelings that decisions are made without the people instead of with them. This is a collaborative effort between the council and the public. We should work together in these goals. We should be doing the opposite of the direction we are heading. We should be making it easier to speak, easier to attend. As my friend Joe said, there's online sessions at the State House. You can sign up to speak there. It's full display. Expanding access builds trust, and restricting access weakens it. So tonight, I ask council leadership, along with other city councilors, to please reconsider these restrictions and restore meaningful opportunities for public input, not just for those in this room, but for all residents who want their voices heard. Because this city belongs to us, the people, and the people deserve a seat at the table. Lastly, I urge the city council to make efforts to get ICE out of Muncie and to keep our community safe. Thank you.
Mr. Julian Franklin.
You're not seeing double, I promise. So I had my name's Julian Franklin. Live here in Muncie. I had a longer speech, but I think the point has been made, Mr. President, so I'll keep it real short. My views do not reflect those of my employers. I oppose the new restrictions on public comment recently implemented by the council. Removing public comment in the introduction of the ordinance will remove the chance for residents to raise important information and concerns early in the process. It will also prevent public comment that could easily and justifiably expedite the adaptation of ordinance for the important matters. I urge the council and President Green to reconsider these new rules. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Cameron Grubbs.
I need to sign up, please. I'm running late. I just got in from work and I'd like to sign up.
I'll let you speak. Go right ahead. I'm gonna let you.
Evening, council. Cameron Grubbs, Muncie citizen. Who'd have thought that you'd all had me agreeing with Ryan Webb tonight? So I do want to appreciate that you had made the change to the address. Yeah. just want to make sure that everyone knows Friday, February 6th at noon is the deadline to file for office with the Delaware County Clerk's Office. I'd encourage anyone interested in making things better, regardless of party, to run for an office. Positions like those with the county council, the county auditor, and assessor are some of those among others at state and party levels that are open. I encourage everyone to step up if you're tired of seeing the same names on the ballot. I realize it takes a great deal of bravery to put yourself out there. Speaking of bravery, I have to commend Council President Green. The bravery it takes to make unilateral changes that completely disregard the public's voice with no input from anyone, with no discussion, moving public comments to the front so the public can't challenge information or provide insights or concerns to council before the second reading. It is remarkably brave of you. Perhaps a fellow Republican can put forth a statement stating how the council under your leadership will not be bothered to uphold the promises or operate in ways that serve Muncie, with resolutions becoming empty words and transparency and accessibility non-existent. I cannot speak for everyone here or those watching, but I, for one, am tired of the same minimal effort day in and day out from elected officials. I'm talking beyond this council. This applies to the whole of the county. Today is Groundhog Day. It doesn't mean that we have to live the same each and every day. We, the people of Muncie and Delaware County, have to live with the same level of ineffective leadership that doesn't even qualify for mediocrity. We should not have to put up with office holders who will not engage with the public or share details or impacts of proposals and decisions. We should have leaders that get up each and every day asking how they can do better than the day before. Leaders who are willing to stand up and actually defend those they serve, individually or collectively as a body, even if that means putting us at odds with other levels of government. This is how we've always done things. Doesn't work when the way we've always done things prevents the people of Muncie or Delaware County from benefiting. Muncie deserves better leaders. Muncie deserves leaders who listen. And Muncie deserves better than the bare minimum. Thank you.
Hello, everybody knows me. I'm Audie. I come in, the doors are locked, so this is an illegal meeting at this point. I came in late, had to sign up late, and you have let me spoke, so you broke a couple points of your own rules already. First of all, you're the president of the council, not the king. Just remember that. You should make every one of these folks up here vote whether to accept this new change or leave it the way it was. You are not a king. We don't elect presidents to become kings. Okay? Second of all, I just got in from work. You allowed me to speak up here after you've done broke your own rules, because you know the consequences that you'll pay if you try to shut me up. You're trying to shut these people here up. Okay? You're trying to shut us all up. We're an hour and 15 minutes into this meeting. Do you think public comment would have lasted that long at night? Had you changed it? You may get 4, 5, maybe 8 people, maybe 10 people at 30 minutes. You're an hour and 15 minutes into this already. And we ain't even talked anything to do with business of the city of Muncie. And if you think you're shortening the meetings, this is going to be like this every month until you get it changed back. If we have to give up our time to come in here to prove a point, these folks will do it. They're here tonight. They'll be here next month. You have a 2-minute limit. Although there's a lot of them that's already went over the 2 minutes. That's rule number 2 that you broke. So let's just throw this damn rule out and start all over and put it back the way it was, because anytime the council has changed any rules, the council has voted on it. They changed the time 3 years ago. Guess what? The council voted on it. Anytime you're not, just because you're the president of the council does not give you the big head of power, okay? You are not Hitler. I hope you're a God-fearing gentleman that you say you are, and realize these people are very upset with this rule change. You've got people out here you've never seen in here before because of this rule change. And if you change the public comment to the front, then you're not going to get the input on some of these ordinances and stuff that you're passing and get these council members to change their mind because their constituents are out here telling them, hey, we don't want that. And Ms. Powell knows, Mr. Dishman knows, everybody up there knows that this council has been changed their mind a few times because of public input. It has happened. And I hope and pray that you see that there is a need for the rule change to be changed back because of all these people that are here tonight that are out speaking on this. You're, like I said, you're an hour and 20 minutes into the meeting already. So I'm hoping you realize, hey, you messed up. Please forgive me. And let's change it back the way it was. Thank you. Can we get the doors unlocked? Mr. President, can we get the doors unlocked?
I assume we have an officer that'll handle that. I don't have the wherewithal to do that.
Your meeting. You're in charge.
It's being addressed as we speak. Moving on to appointments, boards and commissions.
Are you gonna vote on that? Are you gonna vote on that? Change the rules?
We're going to appointments, boards and commissions.
Okay, what board?
Bring it back.
Okay.
Can we get a roll call
You
Can we see who's in
tell
favor
us
of
which
the
committee
Mr.
will
President.
go.
Mr. President,
Yes,
Sarah says.
may I say something?
yes.
Okay. I'm not sure that this is the time to say it. I do plan on bringing it up at some point. I want you to know that. So just,
Just make a motion. All you have to do is
I don't know that this
Edit.
is the, I don't know that this is a proper time in the meeting, but
It's in the meeting.
We,
is this a proper time to do this? Council, if I wanted to, yeah, it
Just
is.
give it.
we're ready to
Go ahead.
do appointments.
I'm talking to, but I do.
Just,
We're moving on to appointments to boards and commissions.
okay. Which board?
The edit building,
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Danielle Castle to the Building Edit Corporation. They've already met this year, so it's just a one-year appointment. And next year she'll have to be reappointed again. So I would like to still nominate her
we have a
to
second.
take that seat.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any other nominations?
Yeah, Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Judy Hill for the edit.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Powell. Any other nominations? Okay. We'll do a roll call and they'll mention that.
Judith.
Mr. President, could you have the clerk read the two names of the nominees?
Yes, would you do that, please?
I have Danielle Castle
Yes.
and Judith Hill.
Thank you.
Are we ready?
Mhm.
All right, for Danielle Castle, Mr. Dishman,
Yes.
Ms. Selvey,
Yes.
Mr. McIntosh,
No.
Mr. Mason,
No.
Ms. Powell,
No.
Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
Ms. Gullion,
No.
Mr. Basham,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
5 yeses, 4 nays. For Castle.
Mitt's board, we have one.
Mr. President, I would like to reappoint Mr. Bill Goad on the, he has attended almost every meeting from other board members, and he is also a writer. So one of the points that they express is they always like his opinion as a writer, because when they make big decisions as a board members, he actually has the hands-on experience, how it affects writers.
I'll second that.
Okay. A motion, a second nomination. Do we have any other nominations? Seeing and hearing none, I guess roll call.
Ms. Selvey,
Mr. Goad.
Ms. Powell,
Mr. Go.
Ms. Gullion,
Go.
Mr. Garrett,
Go.
Mr. Basham,
Mr. Gold.
Mr. McIntosh,
No.
Mr. Dishman,
Mr. Go.
Mr. Mason,
Go.
President Green.
Mr. Goad. We have one. Moving on to committee reports, we have one on the community center. It'll be given by Mr. McIntosh.
Thank you, President. Resolution 15-25. It was a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Muncie establishing a committee to study the development of the community center to replace the former South Madison Community Center. And the motion was made by Councilperson Selvey, Rose Selvey, and seconded by Councilperson Mr. Dishman. To amend to include Morningside North Neighborhood Association and language regarding the number of board members from 5 to 7. A roll call, and the vote was 9 yeas, 0 nays. I would like to, at this time, announce the board for the community center. Morningside Industry Neighborhood, Tammy Harris. Blaine Industry Neighborhood, Keita Edsel. South Central Industry Neighborhood, Leslie McCrory. East Industrial Neighborhood, Jasmine Taylor. Southside Industry Neighborhood, Courtney Marsh. Maurice Richardson. Edward Jones. District 1 Councilperson, President Jeff Green. I now give you the committee for the Muncie Community Center.
Mr. President.
Yeah.
One of those members.
They want to speak, go ahead, yeah.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, and neighbors. We stand before you today as representatives of our neighborhood associations, and more importantly, as voices for the families, youth, seniors, and residents of Muncie Southside and the City of Muncie. We are honored to have been appointed to serve on this committee, and we take that responsibility seriously. We are committed to working collaboratively, transparently, and digitally to ensure that a community center is not just discussed, but built, sustained, and rooted in the real needs of our community. This center represents more than a building. It represents opportunity. It represents safety, connection, education, wellness, and hope. It is a space where our children can grow, our families can gather, and our neighbors can thrive. We pledge today to listen to our residents, advocate for equitable resources, and remain engaged throughout every phase of this process. We are committed to being accountable to the people that we represent and to partnering with the city leadership to make sure that this vision becomes a reality. We believe in the future of the South Side of Muncie, and we believe in investing in our people, and we are ready to do the work to see this community center built for this generation and the next. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and your continued support.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinances previously introduced. Ordinance 1-26.
Ordinance 1-26, an ordinance for additional appropriations edit.
Entertaining it.
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 1-26.
I second.
There's a first and a second. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 1-26?
That would be me, Dan Ridenauer, Mayor of Muncie. I think I went through the details last time. Hopefully everybody has them down. Just for your information, the reason it was TBD was to remind me that I didn't know who the committee was. And so now that we have the committee, I know who to call to get this all started. So looking forward to that. But that was the reasoning. Everything else is ready to go as far as what's on this resolution. But I did not have the names of who each of those neighborhoods picked. So that's it. So unless somebody has a question.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone from the council have a question? Anyone from the audience wishing to speak on this? Yes, sir. Carl Malone.
Carl Malone, Park Superintendent, Industry Neighborhood President. I was not aware of a meeting that took place. I know we had some conversation, and we've since then had some conversation with several other people wanting building center. But I'm not sure why I wasn't contacted about this current meeting where the names came before the council.
You mean for the representative of industry?
Yeah, I was not informed.
That was done at your neighborhood association meeting.
No. What I'm saying is, I heard the conversation of this particular meeting that took place a month ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. I was not notified of such meeting.
Your representative was.
So at this point in time, I don't know that I support that as it stands, and we should have further conversation. Me as a president, I was not informed. That's all I have to say.
May I speak?
Yes, yes. McIntosh.
I just want to speak to Superintendent, Mr. Malone. When we went to all the neighborhood associations, they chose who they wanted to represent on the committee. I'm just telling you what happened, okay? And so once we knew.
Meeting called.
You gonna let me finish?
When was the meeting called? You guys invited yourself to our neighborhood association. We didn't invite nobody on this board up there to it. You came on your own. We didn't invite you there.
You invited us where?
To the neighborhood association meeting. You guys came on your own and you had a plan. We didn't ask for you guys to come and give a plan.
I see where this is going.
Yeah,
All right.
I know you do.
I see what's going.
Which hat did he have on?
Just for clarification, at the last meeting, the mayor said that this building was going to be on the south side of town. So I was told it's going to be at the old park office. So is it somewhere in specific it's going to be? Is it the south side of town, or is it going to be the park office? Or they don't know yet. So I'm just curious.
They're still working on that.
Huh?
They're still working on that. They just got it. We just got it going. The
So it's not
committee
going to be
is-
at the old park office?
I'm sorry.
No, it's not going to be at the old park office in Heacon Park?
That was the understanding that we got from the mayor, that he would like to have it
Can we get
over there.
clarification? Is that where it's going to be, or is this just going to
That's
be on
where
the
the
south side?
mayor wants it. Yes, that's where he wants it.
Councilperson Rowe.
Mr. Scape, I just want to thank you for your efforts over the years and to calling for this center. It's been years and years. You've came and many people didn't understand what you were saying, and sometimes they thought you were, excuse my language, off the yes. But I think you need to be applauded because every time you've came here and spoke, and even if it went on some deaf ears, look at it now. It's happening, and congratulations to you.
Well, I appreciate that,
Mr. President.
I've been told before that it was going to happen, so I'm not believing anything until I see some kids in a building. So I've been bamboozled before, so.
I believe that the mayor has stated that the 500,000 that was committed for the community center was for that building. So it doesn't necessarily have to be for that building. Okay.
Mr. This is the whole reason we got the committee, to get with the mayor, where it's going to be at, when it's going to be. That's what this committee is about. Am I saying that right, Mayor? Thank you.
Anyone else with questions? Yes, sir.
Neil Kring. I live in Muncie. I am curious about the committee that's been created. I know a lot of the folks that are on the committee, and between the mayor and the committee, I'm just, it would be helpful to understand like who is the decision maker on this. Like, is the committee the decision maker? Is the mayor the decision maker? Okay, so you will be making the decision about where the community center is, what, okay. I think that is probably helpful information that people would want to understand, like who is responsible for the decision about this. Because I know from work I do in industry neighborhood that there are a lot of thoughts that are probably unrepresented in the context of even this group, you know, that would want to understand like who is making the decision. So, and I'm just speaking of neighbors. I'm not speaking of necessarily even a process of doing that, but trying to understand and maybe educate the community about how this process is actually working would be helpful, I think. So,
Thank you.
Mr. Mason.
Mr. Mason.
I believe that at their next meeting, we're going to invite the mayor to have further discussion on how to proceed with maybe a feasibility study. There are those on the committee who's never been in that building over in Heacon Park that might want to look at it as an option.
Evening, council. I just want to come up and say that this is kind of how we find ourselves in a lot of things. Like, I'm not sure what happened where, but it's like there's all these questions and everything's confusing as to who's making the decision, and a lot of things unknown. Things are not communicated to the public so that they can know. I would like to ask one thing from them. It seems to me, if you'd consider it, Mayor, is that instead of you necessarily being the decision maker, I know it's your funds, but if you'd be able to say, like, we're going to put this money into a place that then the people of that community can decide what is the best decision for, and make the people of the community be the decision makers.
God, thank you. Speak real quick, President.
Yes. McIntosh.
Once again, Mr. Councilman, there was a Zoom meeting today with an individual from outside the state who met with the committee, Industry Neighborhood Committee. One of the questions, Mayor, came up, would that 500,000 be able to be in a new location? It doesn't have to be at that location pick that we got. That came up as a question. And then also he hammered home hard about having the residents be at the table and have a lot of input. And so when we talk about the community center and the importance of the center, as I look at myself, I think I got more years involved in a community center than a lot of your age. And I go back far as 84, being the program director, on several boards. So me personally, a phone call would have been helpful. However you guys called the meeting, I was not informed. I just want that to be clear.
May I speak?
Mr. Mac.
The resolution states that it's the study of the development of the community center. This is what the committee is about, the study of it.
It's an advisory committee.
The advisory, but it's the study of it. They're just there to be able to advise and go by the mayor's lead. When these industrial neighborhoods, when their community associations got together, they all elected a representative. We went by the resolution. We had to have a 7-person. Didn't say anything about getting the president of an association or anything like that. So we went by the resolution. We have a committee in place. The mayor knows about it now. The TB to be determined is off the board. So he knows now we got a committee to work with. And let's move forward. Man, come on.
Any other comments? Council? Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to figure out the logistics of this. So it's a South Side Community Center, but then I was here in the committee. I was kind of not really listening closely. So it's in Morningside?
It's a
But
community.
did it come through East Central or did it go
It's
across
a-
the river and miss us?
It's a community center.
Okay.
The amendment, the resolution had amendment to add Morningside. So it's those representatives on this committee
Uh-huh.
or what have you. It's just, it doesn't mean that it's South Side. We don't know where it's going to be right now.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just curious as to, I mean, I agree, industry and South Side and everything, because I know Whiteley's doing their own thing, which is in the north. And I wasn't paying attention because I thought, oh, this is South Side. But then I'm hearing there's like in the north. So, but I heard something about East and we're East Central. And I think people know where we are and who we are. And I don't know whether anything was, I'm just asking from my own, because I'm not here representing East Central neighborhood right now. I'm just asking the question since I've been involved with it for 50 years. Okay.
You know, I don't know how many people know the history of what happened to the South Madison Community Center.
Yes.
In 2003, the city was awarded a Hope 6
Mhm. I lived that.
South Madison, they needed that land, I guess, to construct housing. Now, in the original grant, it stated that a new community center would be built.
Yes.
In the first phase of construction. And somehow or another, the grant got amended and the community center was lost. So what we done when we put this committee together, we tried to include the neighborhoods that abutted this area. You know, Industry, South Central, Blaine. I think it was originally what, 5? Five that abutted this particular area. I think Mr. Green then put in a amendment to include Morningside.
I did. It was me.
Or you did.
Yeah.
To include Morningside.
That's all. That's
Now, it's a community center,
yeah.
but our main concern was to include the neighborhoods directly abutting that particular area.
Well, I think we abut a lot. I'm just saying. I mean, East Central abuts. We abut. That's our boundary. I'm not fighting for East Central because we've raised our money and we have the Emily Kimbrough House. I'm just curious because it should be Industry and South Central and maybe South Side and that group that's doing such amazing work right now. And I was just curious how it happened. Why, if Morningside needs to be hooked with somebody, they're north and so is Whiteley. I mean, could they just like join in with Whiteley? I'm not saying do that. I know Whiteley's worked their butts off to do their thing, but that was the one thing I'm sitting there going, this doesn't make sense. We're saying South Side, South Side, South Side, and the Y, South Madison Y. I know that. I mean, you know, that was hard. I mean, it's supposed to even be in the Garfield School and all that stuff. So I agree with that. I'm just sitting here and I was trying to make it make sense that it skipped East Central without even just maybe saying, hey, do you have any opinion?
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to tell this council in this city that Morningside neighborhood has been neglected for so many years. And I have been working with this neighborhood association that needs the most help and most support.
Right.
Every opportunity that we have as a city to include something we have neglected over decades is what we must do as citizens. And yes, I was. And I ask not just me. I'm asking every neighborhood association to reach out to them. They're, with all due respect, if I may say, they're a little bit behind of the eighth ball. We look at East Central neighborhood. Kudos, South Side. You guys are doing amazing things. Be mentors for them. They're ready to learn from you. They want to be included. So yes, I was the one, and I will always rally for them as an at-large person because they are part of the city. There are teenagers and young kids that need the mentorship as well, even if there's a distance of a mile or two extra. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And I don't disagree with that. I was just, I don't know. I just couldn't figure it out because it made so much sense to replace that community center in the south side of town with those neighborhoods. I was just more curious why East Central wasn't, and like, I don't know, maybe you reached out to our president and I didn't know that, but and if you want to mentor, why wouldn't you pick? I mean, Southside's a great neighborhood and they can mentor. South Central's been doing great. There's all those people, but East Central too. I mean, they, there might have been somebody that could have been helpful as far as, and Morningside was great. They had a cop shop. They had that building. I mean, they had a viable neighborhood. They did their park and everything. And they have Roger and all those people over there. And, I just was curious because it kept being said South Side. And then it's like, oh, wait, we're going to go clear down Broadway a little bit north. I'm just being me.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Corey Moore.
Good afternoon again. My name's Courtney. I'm the Southside Neighborhood Association president. I've heard a little bit of chitter chatter in the community over the last couple of weeks as this conversation has come about. And I feel like there are a lot of true misinterpretations of the information. I've been told myself from a few different constituents in the world here that they thought that the Southside Neighborhood Association was the only one that was a part of this. And I'm here to tell you we're not. We said that here publicly in front of you tonight. And we'll say it every night together. Together, we're going to move forward because we made that commitment to you here publicly for a reason. It wasn't because we wanted to be behind closed doors. It wasn't because we wanted to hide anything from anybody here. And I personally, just like most of my other friends here that are going to be joining us on the committee, value the fact that we do have a representative from Morningside. Thank you very much, Ms. Selvey, for that. She brings a lot of good information. And even though we have only met one time, please explain that to everyone. One time, we each sat around the table and said, hello, how are you? What's your name? We did not go into depth and detail about any of this information. We got a very quick, brief introduction as to what it is that our expectations are as a committee. We are still working on that. I'm up here to scream at you tonight to let everybody in the world know we are very new to this. We want everyone's input. As Jasmine has already said to you, we are very strong about this. We're passionate. The 4 of the neighborhoods that surround that park were asked to be a part of this committee for that reason. We surround that park. Those are our people. Those are our loved ones, our friends, our neighbors, our people. Ms. Roselvi said, you know what? There's another great, amazing person in the world that should be a part of that committee. And she stood up here in front of everyone and said, I would like to represent this person. And here she is. She's a beautiful soul, and she has brought a lot to the table in that one conversation that we had. We look forward to having more conversation with her. She's got amazing input on not just her neighborhood, but the things that she's been through with her neighborhood. She brings a lot of information just like the rest of us. We're going to be reaching out. We're going to be asking questions. We're going to be asking each one of you for advice. We're going to be asking each one of our constituents that reach out to us or that we reach out to for their advice, their input, and their opinion. We really appreciate the support from the city council and everything that you guys have done in order for us to get to this point, because just like we've already said, it is a long time coming.
Yeah,
The multi has been gone for
absolutely.
way too long. Most of us grew up in the multi, if not the Ross Center, if not the Bewley Center, if not the people down the street that had a community center on their front porch. Just saying, right? All the kids in the neighborhood know where it's at. They know the snacks are there. The dog's love is all over it, and they're ready to come. We have a following, not just me. Everyone that stood up tonight that said they wanted to be a part of this committee. Every city council person that's a part of the committee or some portion of it up to this point. It's not Southside's community center. Let me make that real clear. This is Muncie's community center that's going to be built by Muncie residents. It just so happens that the building that we are anticipating using, hear that loud, anticipating using is owned by the city of Muncie. We've not had conversations with a contractor. Do we know if the walls are good? The roof is steady? We can do anything in that building besides walk through it, and that might be questionable? No. We've not had time to sit down with a design crew, anyone of an architectural background. Again, we are people that love our city, and we stood up and said we love our city. That's where we're at. That's where we plan to be. And from this time moving forward, now that we know that we are all very committed to this committee, we are going to be stronger. This is our point of foundation. We are standing up here to say we love the city. We love you all. We know you've been fighting for it forever, especially Mr. Stave. He's been at numerous meetings streaming the same thing we are. And we plan to make sure he's a part of this group, some shape, form, fashion, whatever. But we have to build our foundation in order to do that. So the misconception that this is a South Side community center, I'm South Side, and it's not. It's also a very big part of our industry neighbors, our South Central neighbors, our Blaine Southeast neighbors, and our Morningside neighbors, because they're not way out there in the boondocks. They have viable information that they need to share with us, because we as a committee want to make our city stronger. This generational issue that we're having can be corrected as long as we get our foundation together. That's what we're building right now. If you want to be a part of that, that's great. We would love your input. We definitely would. But right now, again, we're trying to build our foundation. We're trying to get our feet together, because if we don't, exactly what Mr. Stave said earlier is going to happen.
True.
It's not going to come. It's not going to be there. Just like Jasmine said, our generations need this. Not do we need this. Do we love it? Yes. But my kids and their kids need it. So that's why we came onto the committee. That's why we said yes. That's why we publicly stood up here tonight to make a point, because we don't want to be in the dark. And we don't want for the community as a whole to think that we're being shady or deceiving or conniving, or we're not trying to share that information. We've had one meeting. Please be patient with us. We are getting our footing together, and we are excited to be a part of that committee. So thank you so much for your time tonight. I just wanted to make sure to set the record straight. It's not a South Side only community center. It is a citywide community center that all needs to work together. Thank you so much for your time tonight. You guys have a great night.
My name's Judy Hill, I'm just a citizen of Muncie. But I just want to say about that community center. It's just a replacement. The original one that had been there for years. I'm 83. I went there. My parents, they all went there. And it's nothing new. It's just that it's been overlooked because the money was there, but it was never replaced. They used it, that block where it's set, they used it to build some of those apartments and left that community center out. So it's nothing new. It's just a replacement that's been long overdue. And it should be in the millions by now if that 500,000 had been left instead of spent elsewhere. So, you know, and a community center is for everybody.
That's right.
It's not just for where it's going to be, because the kids that went there, Wiley, Blaine, everybody went there. So I just want people to know it's just a replacement. It's nothing new. Wherever it's built, it's the money that should have been replaced when they tore that down years ago. When there used to be a swimming pool, when the black kids could not go swim anywhere, that was the place where you went to swim. That's the place that you went. So it's just one of those things that it's going to be for everybody.
Yes.
It's not just going to be, it's just a replacement that should have happened years ago.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Who we voting on again? We on the ordinance? Yep. Oh, okay.
1-26.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ordinance 2-26.
Ordinance 2-26 being a resolution of approval to supplement and amend the text of the City of Muncie subdivision regulations regarding an Article 5 improvement and requirements.
I have a motion for.
I'll make a motion.
Is it Mr. Burke?
Mr. Garrett.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
making
do I have a
motion.
second?
I'll second.
Ellen? Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 2-26? Yes, ma'am.
Eileen Swackhammer from the Plan Commission. Good evening, council. Last month, this was introduced at your last meeting. Brandy Ingerman from my office came to read you this introductory letter. I also did email all of this to you with some supporting documentation. This amendment would be to add text to the city subdivision ordinance to require that trees be included in the development of a new subdivision. So I'll go ahead and read the amendment. It would be section 28-31, natural features. In approving a proposed subdivision plat, the commission shall consider the preservation of existing natural features, contributing to the enhancement of a subdivision and its environs, such as natural growth, water courses, falls, beaches, and historic areas. Such features shall be incorporated in the design of the subdivision. Trees shall be preserved and shall be welled against grade changes. The subdivider should provide at least one shade tree per front yard. Corner lots shall provide at least one approved shade tree per street frontage. Such trees shall have a minimum diameter of not less than 2 inches, measured at 48 inches above grade.
Yep.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Anyone wishing to speak in the audience? Seeing and hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Ordinance 3-26.
Yes. Ordinance 3-26, an ordinance of the City of Muncie amending Section 32.39 of the City of Muncie Code of Ordinances, prerequisites to action on ordinance, resolution.
I have a motion to accept.
Second.
We have
President, I'd like to make a comment, please.
make a comment. Go ahead.
Yeah.
This ordinance reorganizes section 32.39 of the City of Muncie Code of Ordinances and adds requirement that each ordinance of resolution be filed in person or by electronic mail by the member of the Common Council that signed the ordinance or resolution or by the attorney that approved the form of the ordinance or resolution. 3-26 simply represents a common sense change. It will build public trust in the council and our city government. This ordinance offers clarification to filing procedures that will create clearer expectations for all officials and staffs of this administration and future councils and administrations to come. There's no reason why the original ordinance should not have passed a 9-0 vote. So here we are again. And those of you who voted no have an opportunity to right a serious wrong. You've received the same emails and phone calls that I have. Yep. Which have been many, from the public voicing their concerns of accountability and transparency of this council and city administration. We as a council cannot expect to hold others accountable for their actions if we ourselves are not being accountable and transparent. I encourage you to do the right thing tonight and let's get this ordinance in place and passed.
Okay. I agree with what you're saying, Mr. Mason. I do have an amendment to make besides, and that would be section 32.39, and I will explain my amendment and the reason. Paragraph A to adjust the city clerk.
Right.
Oh,
Can't make it.
I would like to make a motion to amend.
Tell us how you're going to amend that, if you would.
Oh, you would like, okay, I would like to make a motion, and that's what I was gonna explain, because I have to explain. The city clerk shall not accept for filing any ordinance or resolution to be considered by the common council unless and until it has been approved by written signature thereon of a member of the common council. I would like to add, and the city controller, comma, and has been approved for form by city attorney. So I think it's a great idea. I'd like to add the city controller, since the city control is responsible for most of the financial, if I may finish, financial transactions of the government. Therefore, the controller should be included in the signature and knowledge of items submitted, because, to be honest, most of our items have a financial cost or a financial reporting component. So he should be aware of those ordinances. Go ahead.
Is that the
Second.
motion?
That's the motion. Do we
That's
have
the
a s-
motion.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
I second. But I just want to be clear. We're just really amending, we're adding
The control.
and the city controller
Yes.
to paragraph
A.
8A. Okay,
That's it.
Mr.
just a minute. So that goes to, I'm sorry, I second.
I guess my question is why the controller would need it to be added to every ordinance, because, for instance, if we're changing city parking, or we are, something on, there's no need to have a city controller sign off on every ordinance. Now, I would be in support of, to add and to amend your amendment, that city controller on ordinances that pertain to financial decisions or actions. I also, you had said that as the city attorney, and I don't agree with that either, because we have a council attorney that is just as qualified to validate signatures of council. So I think to designate or to limit that to just the city attorney nullifies why we have a council. I mean, So
I don't think I did. I said the city attorney or the attorney of the common council. Both.
Okay.
She said both.
Both.
Okay. All right.
Both.
Mr. President.
No, you're right. Both. Absolutely.
Mr. President.
Yes,
He
I have a
seconded.
secondary motion to amend to say the city controller on ordinances that pertain to city finance business.
Second.
So I'm looking, thank you, Councilman McIntosh.
All right, Mr.
Do we
President.
have a second?
Yes.
He got it.
Mr. McIntosh. Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to say, I think that's muddying up the waters. I think
Yes.
That,
That's all it's doing.
and even council person Powell's, I understand that you're, trying to tweak it a bit, but that's broad. I mean, anybody can say, well, this might affect finances down the road. I just think that is not necessary. I feel like if we're doing something that's financial, we're probably talking to the financial person. I mean, I hope that we're, doing that. We have an attorney, and if the attorney believes that the controller needs to be
Agreed.
spoken, or needs counsel from the controller, then the attorney will make that decision, whichever attorney that is. I feel like, why are we adding steps?
Agreed.
But I'm sorry, Miss Gullion, with all due respect. But like when we are introduced, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I don't see the reason why somebody, like especially the controller, not know what's going on. I mean, anything that we do is like it doesn't change what the purpose of the accountability that Ms. Powell introduced to make sure that the council person's signatures on there. I totally agree with that. And we have to make sure that the person or the council person who's presenting the ordinance or resolution, it is them who signed it. But I don't see I mean, when do we decide? When do we show it? And then it becomes like us against them and them against us. I think if one person is open communication, and just in case we might think something doesn't cost money, but later on it might need the attention of the controller. And that's where I'm coming from. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's muddy in the water.
May I respond, Mr. President? Okay, I hear where you're coming from, and I trust that your, heart's in the right place for that. But I just feel like, I mean, none of our resolutions have anything to do with money, rarely. I mean, most of our, I mean, it really and truly, I just feel like you're saying that everything that we
Just
that
add
we
the
file-
control or somebody to know, yeah.
Yeah, and that adds more time, that adds,
Right.
I mean, I don't understand why we would have to do that. Again, we have two attorneys, we have the city attorney, we have our own council attorney.
Yeah.
They know when we should be bringing in like controller's opinion.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I call for questions so we can have a vote on this Selvey's.
We've got
Which
two,
we've got, yeah.
we've got two questions. Are you calling the question for Ms. Powell's secondary amendment? Pardon me? Do we need to go first? That's what I mean. That's what, okay, yes. Okay, so we're voting on a councilperson Powell's secondary amendment. That's your call for the question. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep up.
Which means, I'm sorry if I might, it means not having the control involved.
No. It means that mine was contingent on yours, because I agree with Councilperson Gullion that it's extra layers of things. But I think that if we are going to move forward with yours, which I understand, as Councilperson Gullion said, your heart's in the right place. I feel like we really only need the controller's signature on
the finance,
on ordinances or resolutions that involve finances.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. President, I call the question.
Okay, we got a question. Roll.
Right. Let's not do that.
What question did I call?
The question has been called.
But it's on the amendment. It's not to pass it. It's just on the amendment. Okay. So let's
take a recess.
Are we doing a vote? Because I have a comment.
on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the city clerk specifically says, city clerk's office, no one consulted me when they did this. I'm totally for this, but I have a lot of really good insight. For example, if you look at the 2026 budget, we don't have the controller's signature on the one that's online. But last year's, we have the controller, the attorney, and the council member. I have lots of good information. All you have to do is ask me.
Mr. President.
Yes.
If I may. May I?
Wait.
Oh, we called a
Call the
question.
question.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Can't do anything except do it. Okay.
So at this time, council, we need to vote on
The secondary.
amendment. Is that correct?
Only on financial.
Okay, in reverse order.
I'm fine.
Okay.
So do you want to change it around?
I'm fine on the thing.
Is
You want to bring it up? We're all good.
right.
We're all good.
But okay. Okay.
President.
Right. Got it.
We've got a question. We need.
Yeah, to Belinda's question. So are you saying that this is already in place?
No, we're not saying that. A lot of it is
I mean, if they got those signatures that,
Question's been called.
just housekeeping things. I have an issue with some of the electronic submissions because you do
But
those at a
that's-
certain time. I think I would have liked to have been part of the discussion.
We have question. We need to vote. Roll call on this amendment two.
No. Ms. Gullion,
No.
Mr. Basham,
No.
Mr. Mason,
No.
Mr. McIntosh,
No.
Mr. Dishman,
Yes.
Mr. Garrett,
No.
Ms. Selvey,
No.
Ms. Powell,
Yes.
President Green,
No.
Okay.
7 votes
Okay.
to the amendment.
To the secondary
My amendment.
That was the second.
amendment, to the amendment. I'm just trying to get clear.
Now we have a vote, but we haven't had question called on it.
Right.
Motion on the original amendment. Primary amendment, second.
Yes.
So that's adding the controller to those.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to do? Yeah.
It's not been a question call. So there's comment
Comment on the amendment.
on the amendment. On the amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quick question, because like it's been ongoing since I think October, September or something. Why is the amendment now being brought up and it's not been offered before or anything? I mean, I'm just.
Okay, I will answer. May I?
Okay.
Okay. And like, I wish as counsel, to be honest with you, that when I'll start with myself, when I bring an ordinance, I wish we would talk to each other as counsel, even one-on-one, because a lot of times we see, right, when you brought this, like we don't call each other and say, hey, well, we might call certain people, but we might not call everybody to see, hey, did you look at this? What's your input? And we don't do that. Let's be honest. I was never questioned. So now that it's moving forward, I read it, studied it some more, kind of figure out and this
You
is
didn't
how I
understand
felt.
before? What do you mean?
I
When you say you don't understand before, what do you mean?
What I meant, like the first time, yeah, I didn't read it, like understand it, meaning like.
So it's been going on since October, September, October.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, that's been like, how many months is that?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's several months. I mean, you
Okay,
haven't.
so I read it some more, and this is what, because everybody, to be honest with you, I was on the fence with it. And I had to sit there and ask myself, what is it that,
But at any of those meetings, you could have brought up the amendment. You could have amended it.
well,
anytime before.
this is, the second reading.
Okay, in my opinion, I think council should have its own independence and not be, having the administration.
I do have my independence. Thank you, Ms. Daisy.
I don't know about that.
Alex Kluber, Muncie resident. Views don't express those of my employer. I'll just say, I think Councilperson Mason said it best, so I'll skip my prepared statement, but I will say I support passing the ordinance unamended, and I hope you will too.
Thank you.
Christopher Pilbury. This doesn't make sense. Ro, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have the controller have to sign off on an ordinance where you guys, or the resolution where you were wanting civility. It doesn't make sense to have the controller sign off on the stop sign thing that they did in the neighborhood. And furthermore, if you have a contentious bill that someone from the other party puts forward, the administration is going to be able to kill that anytime. Any ordinance that they want to kill and say, nope, I don't want to sign this, then no ordinances or resolutions can ever come before the council, because the controller, whether it's this controller or any controllers in the future, you got to think about when these people 10, 20, 15 years from now, when these people are gone, the controllers can just say, nope, not going to sign this, and they're going to kill any kind of legislation that comes before. So it really, I mean, if you please think about this. If you pull this and just vote on this, it doesn't make sense to tie this up in nonsense. You see how you guys get in your own way on a lot of very just easy things. Just There's no need to get in your own way on this. Just pull this off, vote on the bill, vote yes or no, and let it be how it is. But don't tie this up with nonsense. Thank you, Blaine.
Mr. President, may I make a comment?
Yes.
I have heard for the first time tonight from our city clerk that she had no input in the constructing of this ordinance, recognizing your vital role in the whole process. Now, this might not be the time to ask if it's appropriate, but I'd like to table this ordinance because I'd like to involve our city clerk in any amendments going forward before we actually pass this ordinance. When is the appropriate time for me to call to do that?
Do we have to vote on the
Amended.
question that's on the table?
No, because the primary motion then yields to a motion to table.
I make a motion, we table ordinance 326. It'll need a second, right?
Yes. We have a second.
Okay. I guess I got that.
My name's Audie.
I tried.
Barber. We elected you as councilman to do our business. We should not need the city administrator that is appointed to dictate whether you guys are allowed to bring ordinance forward. When you vote on this, and that's what you're doing by putting the controller's name on there, that he has to approve it if it goes forward. Problem is, there was an ordinance introduced that a councilman did not sign. So that's the problem. You guys get all these ordinances, and even if you are the one that was supposedly signed it, you know whether you signed that or not. Step up and make sure, hey, that's the ordinance I signed, that's the one I put forward. And if it's not you, speak up and say, hey, that's not my ordinance. I did not do that. So check yourselves before you get the controller to check. That's all I'm saying. You gotta check yourselves. If somebody's getting ordinances in with your signature on them, I think that's against the law. So check your ordinances before you go to the council meeting. Don't put the controller in charge of the council. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
We need to vote on the amendment.
Okay.
Any more questions? No, he did not tell you we didn't get a second.
Wait, no, didn't get a second.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call.
This is on the amendment that Roe made.
Yes.
Yes.
Voting on that.
Yes.
Ms. Selvey.
Yes.
Ms. Gullion.
No.
Mr. Garrett.
Yes.
Mr. McIntosh.
Are you serious?
No.
Mr. Basham.
Yes.
Ms. Powell.
No.
Mr. Mason.
No.
President Green.
Yes.
5 yes.
Wow.
Mr. President, I'd like to
Yes.
make an amendment. I'd like to add an amendment. I'd like to make an amendment. I'd like to add or the city controller to the paragraph B, section 3239. It reads now without or the city controller to ensure that the approval required in subsection A above has been obtained. Each ordinance or resolution shall be filed in person or electronic mail by the member of the city council that signed the ordinance or resolution, or the city controller, or the attorney that approved the form of the ordinance or resolution that is being filed.
Mr. Mr. Basham, the reason we're
That is
saying
my
start with
motion.
you.
That is my motion.
Do we have a second? We have a second.
Mr. President.
Yes.
So you're saying that we don't have to have an attorney look at it?
No, it says or.
Yes,
Or
you're saying or.
the
You're saying
city
or.
controller or the attorney.
You're
I'm
saying
sorry.
or for all of those?
Yes.
So you don't have,
We
so you're
have-
saying you do not.
we
have
have
to
question
You
call.
do not have to have an attorney look at it.
Mr. President.
We don't have to have an attorney
We-
look at
Mr.
our
President.
proposed bills,
Go ahead.
basically.
We
I mean,
have-
our ordinances, our
We have
laws.
question called.
I would like to ask.
Ask
a question.
counsel.
I would.
Yes.
Hold on a second. Question was called while Ms. Gullion was still speaking. And so I think
I'm sorry. Okay, that's out.
I have a question about calling question. I was told that we are able to challenge the question being called by a vote. So I would like to put the question being called to a vote to see if we can continue this conversation to clarify what has been suggested. This
I
is,
will second that, yes.
so I would like to,
For 16 years. and now
I would like to,
it's
I would like to call, to have a roll call vote on question.
I will second that.
I don't. Councilwoman Gullion was still speaking when question was called. Question was out of order.
The reason I called
Because she was
question
still
was
speaking.
Thank
So
you.
there's no question.
So there is no question. Thank you.
There is no question. Okay. Any other comments on the amendment?
I would like Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Basham to clarify what he is suggesting.
I don't need to clarify. I just read the proposed amendment to include or the city controller or the attorney that approved the form of the ordinance or resolution that is being
So,
filed.
Mr. President, I would like clarification from our attorney if that says an attorney or the controller. Because I don't feel like anything should come before the council that hasn't been approved by either the city or our attorney.
You're gonna ask about or whether or not.
I'm asking for your legal opinion on his amendment to make sure that an attorney is still involved in every piece of legislation that comes before this council, that it is not, and it's nothing against Mr. Wright. It has nothing to do. I'm looking far beyond myself into 20 years from now, because we cannot guarantee that people that are sitting at this bench will have the same intentions that we do. And I want to make sure that we are not putting things in place that removes an attorney from any piece of legislation that comes before us.
Well, I think what you're asking is whether or not or would that took one of any of the. You're using or. That would imply then that.
So it would be more appropriate to say and?
I'm not saying that that's appropriate for the.
I
amendment,
know,
just
I don't
saying-
agree either.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Because if it says or, is that even legal? I mean, do we have to have an attorney look at these before we can? I mean, I know we do right now, right, I mean, because of our, rules on ordinance.
So, yeah.
However, state code, and you may not know this because it's honestly insane to me that anybody would bring up that, not having an attorney look at these things. But do you know if that's even legal?
I don't know the state level, the ordinance.
For our own protection.
Shouldn't we know that before we vote on this? If it's legal?
May I amend my, my,
Well, you have never got second.
no, I did get a second.
It was second. Mr. Dishman, I believe, second. So, you can table your amendment. Or you can vote on the amendment. You might need to vote all together. And then leave it. Yep. Come on. For all your amendment.
So we could vote down this amendment and then I could make another amendment.
Well, it seems like what you're asking, I guess, is whether or not you can make a secondary amendment to your amendment.
Oh, yes.
You would have to have a second. You would have to make a secondary
Okay.
amendment and get a second for that.
Okay. I'd like to make a secondary amendment to include the word and rather than or.
Is there a second?
That includes an attorney.
Second by Mr. Dishman.
You second it?
Okay.
Dishman did. Okay.
Okay. Now we're voting on the secondary amendment.
Any more discussion from council on the second amendment?
So
Yes.
we are saying two people now have to do this too. Attorney and the controller. Correct?
Sure.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct.
He didn't have a second. Did he have a second? On the second.
Any other comment from council? The audience on the amendment?
Yeah, I just noticed the city paperwork been kind of quiet. The mayor already left, I believe, so I'd just be curious if he would like to talk.
Mayor's back in the booth, the lady has not left yet. I mean, as far as whether I'm signing anything or not, it's to go in front of the council for debate. That's, I'll accept signing. That's what you're asking.
Mr. President, may I ask a question?
Yes, you may ask a question.
Ms. Wright, all the ordinances and resolutions that come before council that deal with finances usually are generated from your office in collaboration with the mayor, correct?
Generally, yes.
I don't recall in the time I served on council before or in the past 2 years that anyone on council has sponsored an ordinance that tries to appropriate money or anything without talking to you about it or having you sponsor. I don't think that anyone has sponsored. So basically everything that's generated that comes before us that has to do with finances, that has to do with approving contracts, that anything that can do with anything financial is generated through your office working in tandem with the mayor's office, correct?
Correct.
So if I were to work with the people at Westview Elementary about parking or stop signs, and I collaborated with our attorney and it was the last day of filing and you were already gone, then there's a chance that I would have to wait an additional month because I could not get the required signature of the controller, correct?
I mean, if you don't have all the signatures.
Correct.
then yes.
Or if there was something that you were absolutely against, not saying that you would, sir, not saying that you would, sir, but a controller might just not be available. And since there's only one controller, as opposed to two attorneys, one with the city, one with the council, it limits my options of pushing something in that I would like to have for my constituents in District 2. It adds an additional layer of requirements
That's right.
to even introduce legislation.
That's right.
Mr. President.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to ask. I just wanted to prove a point. Thank you. I'm finished. Thank you.
I'm sorry. So I'm actually gonna ask our attorney if he can speak for a second, if I can.
You want me up there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so Mr. Arnold, so when we send you one of our ordinances, resolutions, you look through it, what do you do? What do you do when we send you that? If you see something that, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? As to form, but you're also sometimes, but you've also, if you're approving as to form, but you're also checking it to make sure everything is legal, correct? I mean, that's what that is, right? Yeah. Right, exactly. So my question is, okay, thanks. That's all I need to do for a I was making a point, obviously, yeah. So I'm asking, is this, would this give the controller that same power, or I don't know, power is the right word, but you know, that same kind of input. It's like, if he doesn't agree with something that's in there, is this going to give him the chance to change something or not sign it?
Or get ghost.
How does that read in what she said?
Yeah.
I mean, that was more, I think, probably hypothetical, but just points, making a point. Why would he not be able to do the same thing?
Yeah, let's take it.
Yeah, I mean, what's stopping him from that? I mean, if he's making, or saying, no, I don't agree with this, or I don't think this is right, correct, whatever, you know, whatever it is.
I don't think anything would stop them from doing that.
Okay.
Whether or not that would actually change the ordinance, I don't.
Right.
Okay, we're going to go to a 5-minute recess. We'll come back.
Yeah, no,
What do you think, Jerry? You make the right choice? Huh?
Brandon needs bathroom.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not doing this anymore. I gotta go talk to Miss Daisy.
So you want to take this time and tell me what the deal is? Why you can't answer emails? Does your email not work?
No, it works.
Okay, so you just refuse to answer? You can chime in too, yes. It works for both of you. It's just a failing of yours?
No, I wouldn't say it's a failing of mine. You are media. You're the media.
Sure.
And I've tried to, I don't mind speaking with constituents. I don't mind discussing things with them. I don't do social media. I'm not involved
I'm not
in
asking
that.
on social media, I'm emailing you.
I know that. But you are not, as a citizen, asking that. You're asking it as your media. You're like Channel 13, Channel 8.
Right.
If I understand that correctly. Am I right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
But I don't stop being an American. I don't stop being a
I
citizen
never
of this county.
meant that you weren't.
No, I understand
I
that,
don't,
but
and I know you're a citizen of Delaware County, and I understand
Right.
that.
And you don't think I pay taxes here?
Well, I'm sure you do.
Okay. So as a person that gets paid by my tax contributions to the city, you feel that you don't have to answer to me ever.
It's a very fine line, I
No,
guess.
it's not. That is a piss poor excuse. And you know that. I mean, you know that you're supposed to be a conservative, right? You know what you're saying is nonsense. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get the trick bag. You're afraid of what you're saying because you don't sit on your own morals up here. You know, I've heard lots and lots and lots of people tell me what a nice and respectable man you are, what a great preacher you are. People going to bat for you all the time. That's not the man I'm seeing.
So what is it you want to see?
Are you for real?
What is it? I'm talking about you as an individual.
Yeah, communication. You were an elected official. I would like to see communication. You know, maybe things wouldn't have to be so adversarial if you would just do a little bit of what your job is. You don't have to
You're
like
talking
me.
about
You
you
don't
and
have,
I.
I'm talking about you as an elected official and Christopher Bilbrey. Because while you might look at me as a media and that's a reason to not communicate with me, I project a voice out that people do see, that your constituents do see, and your constituents do hear. And let me tell you, your constituents are upset with the fact that I've got dozens and dozens, 4 years of emails from you, from Mr. Basham, from Mr. Dishman, that refuse to answer emails. And nobody understands what's going on. And I've got Tim over here telling me that it's the behavior of the citizens that drive away business from council meetings. I think it's probably businesses seeing that we have a council who half of the members aren't in the 21st century. If I was a business coming to Muncie and I heard that half of the council couldn't figure out email, I would really consider whether or not I wanted to sit down for business. So whether it was your idea for the rules or Tim's idea or Dan's idea or whatever, maybe if one of those times you would have answered an email, I wouldn't have such the attitude I have, which would probably help. It's like which came first, the chicken or the egg. I didn't start out having a problem with you. I started out not knowing anything about you. First email I send you, you don't respond to. Well, he's busy. Second email, well, he's still busy. Third email, well, he's still busy. 3 years into it, well, the dude's got a problem. You never once sent back an email and said, hey, Mr. Bilbrey, the reason I don't respond to you is because I can look at you as media. So you want me to tell you, I think that that's just an excuse that you pulled out of the air right now. Or else you would have sent that back 3 years ago. Or you would have sent that back on email 1 or email 5. You know what I mean? So, as I told Tim, I'm working on, and I will be willing to work on a nicer attitude moving forward. But that old country song, you start walking my way, I'll start walking yours.
We both have to work toward that. And I realize that. I need, moving forward, I need to reach out and
President
respond.
of the council, I would hope that maybe you would take some time to counsel your other fellow councilors, maybe at least your fellow wing of the Republican Party, your vice president and whatnot, and the new trans Republicans that we have, and tell them the same thing. Maybe they ought to consider communication, because let me tell you, I'm not the only people that you guys don't communicate. That's the other issue. There are other people that you don't communicate, and they are your constituents. And there are other people that Jerry doesn't communicate with, and there are other people that he doesn't communicate with, and there are others that communicate that half of the people up here don't communicate with. And they are districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You got adding ordinances on top of ordinances on top of amendments on top of amendments.
like it's written.
Or they don't have the
Yeah, hold on like it's written.
or they don't, they don't care about, they don't want to get a show passed.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
So,
Let's amend it to amend it to amend it to amend it again. Just vote on the damn thing and kill it.
Yeah, he gonna kill it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
It's 5 minutes. I didn't time it. I apologize. Need to resume the meeting, please.
Hold on. They got anything wrong with it.
This row out there.
Control. It's crazy.
Okay, you ready? Let's go.
Yes.
Ready.
Okay. Put it one back. Where's Brandon?
Brandon, oh, here he is. Sorry, I apologize.
somebody else has to do it. Okay,
Oh, there they are.
we'll bring meeting back to order.
Mr. President, I'd
Yes.
like to withdraw my secondary amendment.
Withdrawn. Any other comment concerning ordinance 3-26
Okay.
by council?
Do you want me to read it again?
But now we need to vote on the amendment.
So he's pulled his secondary amendment. That's it. There's no more amendments. There's only be two. So the primary amendment is still on the table.
Okay, so the one with the controller,
Right.
the one,
Or.
oh, the over.
Mr. Basham made a secondary amendment.
Okay, so we're back.
Back at the primary amendment.
Section B wording or city controller.
That's right.
And just for clarification, after recess, it was your legal opinion that the ors meant that it could be
Before the recess.
before the recess, that the ors of Mr. Basham's amendment could mean the controller or the attorney, correct? That was your
Sign
legal.
off as to form is what it's at.
Okay.
Okay.
It means if Mr. Basham's motion passes, then we don't need an attorney to sign it.
Question. No. I'm calling question.
So now then, Mr. President, sorry.
Yes.
So now is when I can call a challenge to, so that's why now is when I can call a challenge to calling a question. I would like to do that.
Second that.
Now we can go back to debate openly.
No. Excuse me, Mr. We have to vote on the challenge before we can move on to discuss, to vote, to call the question. So now we have to vote on the challenge, whether we want to call the question or we want to vote for the challenge. Am I correct?
Yeah.
You're extending the date, so.
Right.
2/3 on that.
So we needed 2/3 to
Either way.
On the challenge.
on the challenge. Okay.
Roll call on.
Clarification.
Could you, yeah, clarification again? I have no idea.
I called the question.
Mm-hmm,
That means that we vote.
yes.
There was a challenge
On the question.
On the
and
question.
second,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're voting on the challenge.
Thank
Am I correct?
you. Yes.
Okay.
Clarify
Yep.
it for you.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay.
McIntosh,
Yes.
Basham,
No.
Mason,
Yes.
Dishman,
No.
Garrett,
Yes.
Selvey,
Yes,
Gullion,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Green,
No.
6 yeses, 3
6
noes.
no. 2/3.
we need an attorney.
So that brings us back to the,
Remember, 2 comments. Second comment can't happen until everyone has had a chance to make a comment.
so this brings us back to discussion again. Okay. The amendment, only an amendment,
Yes.
the word or. Is that correct to put the?
That was the secondary.
So,
Yes. go
so I'm
ahead.
just going to make it clear that that amendment is saying or. It means that does not have to be signed by an attorney, just so the public understands exactly, because I know we're going back and forth a lot. It is saying that the controller or one of the attorneys, not and. So An attorney does not have to sign
Hmm.
any of the ordinances or any of the resolutions that any of us would bring to vote on.
Ms.
Yes.
Gullion?
No.
Cliff, yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
So that could be, the attorney you mentioned could be a city or a, yeah,
Either.
yeah, either. Okay. Thank you.
Any other question for council?
I just wanted to offer an observation that I have spoken to this council on this ordinance 4 times across 4 months, across 4 different council meetings. If these kinds of concerns were at play, they could have been brought up earlier. We just heard over an hour and 15 minutes earlier of public comment regarding people wanting to have input in their local government, trying to be engaged and involved citizens. And what is happening now is that you had a group of people who are willing to stand up here and speak in support of this ordinance. I spoke to many of them who are still here, and I spoke to many others who already went home tonight
Yeah.
because of the time that we're at. And like, I'm sorry if I'm exasperated right now, but it is past my bedtime at this point. And so please let people be engaged and informed citizens. And what is happening right now is there is a lot being added to this ordinance that confuses things that the public is not ready to speak on, right? Like, we need to have more time to process what these changes mean. Think about the conversation that has unfolded over the past 15 or so minutes. We're trying to even understand what is happening with these amendments, with the process at play here, what this represents. There's one amendment, then it's being withdrawn. Let the people speak on what they came to speak here on. And if you think the controller should be involved, propose your own amendment, propose your own ordinance later. I mean, it should be a separate ordinance. Let your constituents speak on what they came to speak here tonight. And don't make it so confusing that people aren't even able to offer a support for an ordinance that I know that y'all have heard across several meetings from so many people that people are in support of. Thank you.
I agree with her, but I respectfully disagree with her on the fact that I'm saying that this is not being done in good faith. Okay, it would be one thing, everything she's saying, if this was something done in good faith that was brought up at the last moment, but it's not being. You're doing this in an attempt to kill the bill or to do something weird. This has not been brought up at any other point. There's no sense in what's going on, and what's really heartbreaking is there are people that's sitting up here that could we could just all shut up and you guys could vote if you guys would vote like you had some common sense.
Yeah.
If Jerry would vote this down, if Garrett would vote this down, if some of the other Republicans that know that there's no real reason to do this is just nonsense. I literally just stood and had a conversation with the president during break that I thought was hopeful, but then we come back and we got this nonsense that just shows that it's all gameplay. This is all fake. Everything we're doing here is fake. It does not matter. You guys are going to do what you do. Jerry, you're a Republican, for God's sake. Vote no on this one. No one's going to throw you out of the party. It's okay. You can vote no. Be a man again. Do the right thing. Dan can't get you. He's not going to kick you out. Tim's not going to kick you out. You're a Republican. Garrett, do the right thing. Let's do the right thing here. Whatever this is, could you tell the people why you think the controller needs to do this? What magically all of a sudden that his role has in this? What does this mean for you?
Well, as we've discussed before, to add the eyes of the controller to view it and to recognize it's important and to file it.
Okay, to me, it's like some ordinance that costs money just to make sure whatever for example, the ethics committee, it needed a budget. So that whatever we're bringing into the city, that we have the money to get it through.
So why don't you do this?
Yes.
Why don't we not add this level of nonsense to it? And if some bill comes before you guys that you don't agree with because it has some kind of money aspect to it, vote no on it then. Rather than adding, because here's the deal. This ordinance doesn't affect you guys really to begin with. It doesn't affect you. If you vote and pass this without this Basham nonsense, it doesn't affect you guys. If it passes, you guys do the ordinances and the resolutions the way that you always do them. The only people that this affects are the people, the citizens that might ask you to push something that the administration doesn't like. And let's take you guys out of it. I'm not saying you guys as Jerry, McIntosh, I'm saying the council, because eventually you guys aren't going to be in these seats. The mayor's not going to be in his seat. That controller's not going to be here. You guys have to think about your weirdness that you're doing now 50 years from now. This is nonsense. Just some of the Republicans, please kill this weirdness and vote on the bill like it's put forward, and let's go home.
Amen. Amen.
I agree with what was just said, but I want to add a kind of point from a totally different angle. I am a retired linguist. I have a doctorate in linguistics. I've taught it for more years. My specialty is in semantics, wording. Linguists I've never done this, but linguists do testify in court about the meanings of words and how they may or may not be interpreted in contracts, laws, etc. So I just want to say that putting in "or," the "or" controller confuses things, because in English, this may not be your immediate reaction, but the "or" is ambiguous between either or and or.
Right.
And there, believe it or not, there are many books and dissertations written on the meanings of and or, and this comes up in courts. And so really looking down the line, this could be disputed, what that means. It's better to just leave it out. Leave out the or controller. And the controller today said he would approve, but this was the appointment Nora Powell was making. It's not about the individual, it's about the office. And you don't know what the next controller is going to approve. You have to have this stated in terms of a principle, a guiding principle, not, okay, we'll cooperate. Thank you.
I just want to say I agree with Dr. Liz Little. And I also want to ask, are you really saying that you don't need an attorney to approve the laws that you have?
That's what it says.
Yeah, stay or. It's frightening.
I've been coming up here 10 years, and this takes the cake. By far, takes the cake on the amendment to amend, and take it to draw and do it better. The component show, guys, you gotta remember, businesses are watching you two sitting up there. You guys are controlling this meeting. Not doing a very good job. I resign my post. Thank you. First battery dead.
No, ours aren't on either.
Mine is.
So
where's the button?
Your guys is all covered.
No, ours aren't.
No, ours are not.
Sarah,
Yeah, yeah.
there's a button.
Selected.
Try it.
I
Try it.
didn't do it.
So we have it.
Do it. Wait, let me push it. Is everybody-
Council.
Ours aren't.
Attorney. Legal counsel, I have a question. Are we ready to vote on
Nora.
the primary amendment? Okay.
Mine is.
He's got some of them cut off.
I'm not saying anything
We're
anymore.
on.
Oh, I don't care.
Hers
I'm
not.
loud. Obviously, I'm loud.
I'm done. I got nothing to say.
Got it. I did.
I'm just sitting there thinking about this. If you don't make an attorney be part of it, and say the controller gives it, and not even viciously, like, or on purpose, if he makes a mistake and it passes, and then 3 or 4 years down the road, something happens and it goes to court, I mean, at least by having the ordinance ask for either the city attorney or the council attorney, for sure, not for, you are at least with their degree and their legal expertise, guaranteeing that the form and the legality of the ordinance presented to you, that you vote on in good faith because it's been reviewed by an attorney. You don't, I mean, it'll just could save a situation years down the road where maybe that ordinance is questioned and goes to court and the city's sued and things like that. That would be my situation, that I think having the or in there, like she said, about it being ambiguous. I think my opinion is it should be a city attorney or the council attorney. And then let the controller, like he said, he reviews it anyway and comes up here and talks before you, just, that's not, I mean, to me, I would be more comfortable as a citizen knowing that an attorney reviewed the ordinances and said they were okay to bring to council.
I have a question for legal. If my understanding is correct, the paragraph A requires the approval of city attorney or the attorney for the common council. We're dealing in section B, which is talking about the filing. Am I correct? This is not the approval. This is the filing of that.
I think, well, Mr. Basham.
Yes.
So it is.
Section A, clerk shall not accept for filing any ordinance or resolution to be considered by the common council unless until it's approved by a written signature by that council member and has been approved for form by a city attorney or the attorney for the common council.
Okay, so
To ensure the approval required in subsection A above has been obtained, each ordinance resolution shall be, this is in D, filed in person or by electronic mail by a member of the common council that signed the ordinance or resolution, or the attorney that's approved. So yes, it's dealing with who is presenting it, who's filing it.
But it's already went through the attorney's
It's already
hands.
gone through the
The attorneys have already looked at this and the form is correct.
That's my understanding.
Yes, okay. So it's simply filing.
We've been here since 1865. We've never had this done. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions from council? Oh, yes, ma'am.
Controller does not sign off with the or, if a controller does not sign off on the filing, nothing happens, right? Because it has to be filed. So then you end up with a contradiction between two different sections
Mhm.
of the ordinance.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. President.
Yes.
Okay, actually, what could happen is sort of what happened that generated this in the first place, which is we should be, and I mean, I think for all time, basically, it's been the sponsoring council person has filed it with the clerk or an attorney has. This last time, the administration did it. This is allowing the administration to do that again. Rather than, so if I signed something, decided to pull it, and they wanted it to do, the controller could go ahead and do that without asking me, without me doing it, without an attorney doing it. Yes, to me, the or is not ambiguous in this case. It's clear what they want.
So we have the,
I just want to say that this is an embarrassment of
things should be running. Think about in the future, as people have brought up, how do we know that the other actors in these roles are going to act in good faith? We don't know that, and this leaves room for error and disregard of people's lives. These ordinances deal with education, energy use, these things that should be impact people's lives, our children's lives down the line that we don't know. And I mean, as Ms. Gullion just said, like, this is literally the reason why we came. It should be common sense. It doesn't make any sense. It leaves room for people to just push their own agendas. I mean, if the controller already proposes most of the financial legislation, it doesn't make any sense why they would also have the power to just sign it. And I guess I also have a question about what are the bounds on if they just don't sign it? Like, what are the repercussions if they decide to just not sign it? Are there any, like, what are the rules and responsibilities and requirements if they end up passing? There is none?
Not the way.
I didn't know that was a question.
yes.
Yeah, like, I mean, is that a concern? Like,
It's a concern of mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
City attorney or the council member that signs the ordinance or resolution that's being sent to the clerk has to sign off on it. Either the council member or me or the city attorney that's doing the ordinance or the resolution. The next step then would be either that attorney or that council member or the controller would be filing it. So it's already been signed off and reviewed by an attorney and a council member. And then section B has to do with filing it. So it's really adding an additional person that can do the filing after it's been approved by an attorney or council member.
so, but
Is
that's
that
still
fair?
the council.
That's correct.
controller
Back to
still-
square
if they don't
one.
sign it, is it still not getting pushed?
It's not.
Push back.
There's not a signature,
Required
no.
in section B that I'm aware of.
Uh-uh.
No, yeah.
It's the filing process.
Okay, it still stands. I just don't think that this should even be a conversation. I mean, this is the fourth time, like, it just is ridiculous and it's just a waste of time. Like, we always go home, we're all hungry. I just-
Any more questions? Ready to vote on the amendment?
I am.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Garrett,
No.
Mr. Dishman,
No.
Ms. Selvey.
No.
Mr. Mason.
No.
Ms. Powell,
No.
Mr. McIntosh,
No.
Mr. Basham,
Yes.
Ms. Gullion,
No.
President Green,
No.
8 noes, 1 yes. For the amendment.
Coming for your seat.
So now,
No, the amendment.
the adoption of the ordinance
Right.
unamended
Right.
is on the table.
Yes.
We amended,
Still on the table. I should say.
we amended
I'm sorry,
section
as
A,
amended.
as amended section
That
A.
was Amendment number 1,
Okay,
Mr. Basham was amendment 2.
Right. okay.
Point of did we ever vote on Councilperson Selvey's?
Yes, we did.
We did.
We
Yes,
did?
we did.
Yes.
I didn't think we did.
I didn't.
I thought we voted on my
Hers.
second of amendment,
We didn't vote.
and then we had more discussion.
Right.
I didn't know that we voted on,
We did.
No, we didn't.
I don't think we did.
Sarah, Nora's.
The first amendment was to add the city controller. The secondary amendment was to add city controller that pertains to financial.
Well, yeah,
Right.
pertains to
The
finance.
second, it's not secondary, but the second amendment that was made was to add the city controller again, and then add and or.
And that one just failed.
Failed, right.
But the first amendment passed 5-4. Am I correct?
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes. So we need an amendment, Mr. President, to adopt the the ordinance as amended before we move on. Is that correct, Counselor? Not to take over the meeting, but
No, I think
We
you
don't
meant
need
motion.
amendment to adopt. We've amended it.
Yeah.
We've accepted it. We're ready to move on.
But don't we need a motion to adopt the
Yes.
ordinance as amended?
Yes, that is correct. So are you making that?
I make a motion, we adopt 326 as amended.
And explain, I want you to say out loud what that amendment is again to the public.
Ms. Selvey, it's your amendment.
It's to add the controller, and then you had a different.
That one failed. So your amendment is the only one that's standing.
My
Which is adding-
amendment failed.
No, she asked my secondary amendment. It
Failed.
also failed.
Right, okay.
So your amendment is the only one standing, and they would like to know what exactly it is you.
It's just
propose.
adding the controller to the signing, to one of the people that can sign the ordinances or resolutions.
So it's adding the controller to every piece of legislation that is submitted.
Yes, that was what I.
So
amended.
the motion has been made to adopt the ordinance as amended. And is there a
Second. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any more questions?
Discussed it.
Yeah, read it as amended.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Love you too. I don't even know why I put that. So stressful. Okay, sorry. Just a minute. Yeah, well, okay. So I just added paragraph A, the city clerk shall not accept for filing any ordinance or resolution to be considered by the common council unless it has been approved by a written signature of a member of common council, the city controller, and has been approved by a city attorney and attorney of the common council. So I just added that.
So, Mr. President.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So that means that this amendment is saying that this ordinance as amended is saying that the controller has to sign every single amendment ordinance and resolution that is brought to us.
And Mr. President, isn't that what we voted on by voting on that amendment? Isn't that what we did? We voted in favor of this amendment 5-4. The ordinance, however, had already been motioned and seconded. So now we need to act on my motion to amend, and there's been a second. Is that correct?
Yes. Councilwoman Selvey's amendment was voted on and approved 5-4.
Right.
So now you are voting on
The ordinance.
The ordinance itself.
As amended. Okay.
There can be no more amendments.
Okay.
Yes.
It still has the or problem.
Yes.
No, I know.
No, well, Selvey did not do that, but she just repeated that.
Did you read that? Yeah, I will read it again. Sorry. Yep. Let me read.
And I want to speak to the issue of it's not just a filing procedure, because if somebody can prevent the filing,
Mhm. Okay.
the attorney can tell them this is the case, but it seems to me that it cannot go forward if it cannot be filed. So that gives that person power in the same way that in Congress, in federal Congress, somebody can present a bill. That's how I see it.
Just the same thing can happen.
Could you clarify that for us?
Once again, an hour and a half ago, I said, you guys are elected officials. That controller is appointed. Don't give them that control over the council like this. I said that an hour and a half ago.
The controllers
by doing that, you are adding an executive member to be able to not sign off on an ordinance, and therefore then it can't be filed.
Vote it down, kill it.
Just ask for quick in the future, maybe council have, besides minutes, maybe like a journal proceedings or something, so that people can follow what's going on. Just one thing.
Yes.
Say that again.
I have a question.
Yes.
So if the ordinance fails to pass as amended, then it's dead and it never existed, correct? So in essence, by motioning to amend this and having all this discussion, it kills the bill.
If
That's not
Just-
good.
you were saying something, Counselor.
I'm more thinking out loud
Okay.
about options,
Okay.
whether or not you can.
There's no more amendments.
It's already on, right? It can't amend anymore. So you can vote on the ordinance as amended.
Okay.
So the original ordinance has already been
This is shameful.
amended. And so, yeah, that ordinance is gone. And I think would need to be it's already been introduced. You suspend the rules and
Reintroduce
put
it.
the original ordinance back up. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have a record on that. But the only thing that's being voted on right now is the ordinance.
Would it be beneficial to table the ordinance? That way it's not destroyed.
As amended.
May I, Mr. President?
Go ahead.
Originally, when I requested a tabling of the ordinance was to give our city clerk an opportunity to have some input because her office is most affected by the whole filing process. And well, but I want her to impact, I want to have an impact on this so it makes it more efficient for her and for us. That was the only reason why I suggested the tabling. Mr. President.
Yes.
I'm not having a conversation with. Okay, then. Okay, what do you call it? You.
Mr. Basham has the floor. Let him finish, please.
No, I finished what I had to say because I thought it was important new information as we deliberated on this ordinance. New completely to me. I never heard our city clerk say that she had not been asked to have input on this ordinance.
It's okay, don't worry about my opinion, it doesn't matter.
But it does. You're elected to do this job. And that was why I suggested the tabling. But here we are, we have the option of voting on the ordinance as amended. Is tabling another option?
I honestly, I'm not sure when your first motion to table was made. What was it?
It was early on, but it was voted down. So that's all right. I mean,
What amendment were you making?
it was before I made the amendment. It was after we voted on Miss Selvey's amendment, and then Belinda made the comment as appointed by the president that she had no input, and it was astonishing to me that would be the case. I would have imagined that she would have been a part of that conversation.
My input is, I would like all the signatures on one page, not 3 separate pages, and I would like there be a deadline on the electronic. And
See,
whenever we
all
have
those
a
things.
contract, I want that included in the file.
Of course.
I don't get the documents I need to share to the public. That's all I wanted to input. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
That was the reason why I really wanted to table it. Yeah. But right now, here we are, we're here to vote.
Well, I think you're at a vote to adopt it as amended. Make a motion to table the adoption as amended.
Mr. President?
Yes.
So if you're really and truly serious about wanting to work with the clerk, wanting to make this more transparent and real, then you all should vote against this. You should vote no on this, because that's the only way it's going to go away. And then if you want to work with the clerk on something that's real, we can do it at that point.
You have a comment?
Yes, so I would urge you to vote against this to encourage the conversation. I think we have 4 things that have come from this. We as a body want to make sure the legislation we're putting forward is legal. We agree that lawyers should be looking at it. We also agree that there's a value resource in our clerk who could probably help us catch some resources. Is there a way to work that into processes and procedures in this filing? We want to make sure there's enough money. And I think that this is conversations that are already happening or could happen, doesn't necessarily need to be in this ordinance, but I think this is something that you all agree on. And whatever comes forward, that could be part of that conversation. And I think we want to get back to the main point of the ordinance was that we are encouraged as representatives in the community that the ordinances are put forward under the ownership of the author of those. And so I regret asking that this gets voted down, but it's been so much change. I think we do need to start from scratch. I love democracy. It is so messy. We've learned a lot from this meeting, but I don't see how we can go next.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
There was a motion
Yes.
made and a second. And
So we need to vote.
a vote has, the discussion's over.
Okay.
May I ask
Yes.
another question? And anybody,
He said from everybody, we need to vote.
okay, call for a vote.
Said we need to vote.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mr. Dishman?
This is yours.
Ms. Selvey?
He didn't hear you.
No.
Ms. Gullion?
No.
Mr. Garrett?
No.
McIntosh?
No.
Basham?
Yes.
Powell?
No.
Mr. Mason?
No.
Green?
No.
Seven.
Okay.
So now that can be started again.
Well done.
Okay.
Ordinance 4-26.
Just a minute. I'm just so stressed out. Okay, ordinance 4-26. An ordinance fixing the maximum salaries of each and every member of the Muncie Police Department of the city of Muncie, Indiana for the year 2026.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 4-26.
I second.
Second by Mr. Garrett. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 4-26? Mr. Wright?
Deputy Chief Deacon's not here, so I do have a quick meeting to go to. We'll have a budget.
Okay. Any questions or comments from council? Anyone in the audience? Seeing and hearing none, roll call, please.
Gullion?
Yes.
Basham?
Yes.
Mason? McIntosh?
Yes.
Dishman?
Yes.
Garrett?
Yes.
Selvey?
Yes.
Powell?
Yes.
President Green?
Yes.
9 yes.
Okay. No new ordinances. We do have resolution
Yeah.
1-26.
Yes, resolution 1-26, resolution of approval for the 2025 changes to the official zone maps for the city of Muncie.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt resolution 1-26.
I'll second that.
Wishing to speak on this order or resolution, excuse me.
So in 2025, there were 12 rezonings that came before you. They were all 12 approved unanimously. The zone maps are changed as you approve those rezonings. Every year, at the beginning of the year, we come before you to approve the previous year, 2025 maps as a whole. So that's what this was.
Okay. Any questions from council? Thank you. Anyone from the audience? Roll call, please.
Mr. Basham?
Yes.
Mr. Dishman? Yes. Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Gullion?
Yes.
McIntosh?
Yes.
Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes.
Ms. Selvey?
Yes.
Nine yes.
Resolution 226.
Resolution 226, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Muncie, Indiana, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Greg Winters Memorial Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 87.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt resolution 2-26.
Okay, someone wishing to speak?
I'll make this
Sure.
very, very brief, as I'm sure we're all tired. Again, this is a good step in the right direction. I've spoken with all of you. We know that we have to remain competitive. Anderson's going to make our job difficult the next 3 years with what they are doing with their police department and the competitive salaries that they put up for the next 3 years going to 2029. And with them being so close and basically our sister agency in size and population, we're going to have to be competitive. I appreciate your vote in favor of this contract, and I stand for any questions.
Yes.
We had just discussed, and I just wanted on public record that the union made concessions in order to meet this agreement, correct?
Yes, like every contract, at least the ones that I've negotiated, there's always concessions on the union side. Our concessions had to do with trying to reduce the overtime costs, which restricted when officers can schedule vacation and things like that to try and increase staffing. We also have a uniform change that's coming, and the way the contract currently reads is if a uniform change happens, the city has to purchase all new uniforms. We said for this year there'll be no grievances under that. One of those gains was that our clothing allowance was increased. That was a concession that we made a few years ago to try and help the city with retiree insurance. So it's basically getting back to what we'd already conceded a few years ago.
I just wanted people to know that there were give and take.
Anyone else with questions? Thank you. Comments from public?
What kind of percentage are we looking at for a raise on the police officers? 4%? Do we have the money for that, controller? Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure we have the money for that. I'd give them 25% if I could.
Very well.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But we know we can afford it. So.
Yes.
Keep up the good work, guys out there that's doing good work.
Thank you. Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Powell?
Yes.
Garrett?
Yes.
Selvey?
Yes.
Basham?
Yes.
Dishman?
Yes.
McIntosh?
Yes.
Mason?
Yes.
Gullion?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
Nine yes.
Any other business? Seeing and hearing none, entertain or adjournment. Second. Okay. Adjourned.
Okay.